Search on this. Initiative's weird. Hi!
Initiative is
hello.
weird. I mean, no one's watching it the very first. The mic. One of the mics is like going into the red whenever anyone talks. Is that this one?
Yep, it's this one.
No, that's not that one.
It's this one.
It's that. So
I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit.
Yep, go for it. Good monitoring.
Hello! Okay, we're good.
Welcome to another week of Doctors and Dungeon Masters.
There we go.
I am
Just
Kelly
start the
Breivik.
podcast here.
Yes. Yes. I'm Kelly Breivik, a PhD student at the English department at UWM, and I'm the Dungeon Master.
Hi, I'm Corey. I am a PhD student also here at UWM. And I am playing Franz the Rogue.
Air Bear, PhD, Warlock.
All right,
What
we're
about
getting more and
Hemlock?
more. We're getting more and more each week. So
Learned so much.
Leia will
Did we
be
long
missing
rest since
one
our last time?
You
Sorry.
will have
Okay.
at the point that we're starting.
Okay, then
So Leia will be missing for one more week before we get the return of Ash the Bard. But can we get a recap of what happened last time?
Well, we fought some tigers,
You did.
some monkeys.
Mhm.
We didn't fight the elephant, but there was an elephant, and Em wrote it.
Mhm.
Then my brother and I...
befriended it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You got paid for it. Speaking of getting paid, there's a bounty on this guy who took me to court. Well, didn't take me to court. Try to get proceedings to start taking me to court. Because I killed his tigers, and Tai Shao La has tigers as an exotic good, so they're property damage. I'm still unclear on the legality of all this. But I pulled the I'm 15 and dumb card and gave them a fake name, so...
Fun fact, I didn't hit record for the podcast, so it's starting here.
Hi, everybody! Welcome!
It's all good.
That's a quick recap.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. They could just tune into the week beforehand and figure it out.
Watch sequentially.
Yes. Anything else before we... Oh, you did do a little bit of scoping out the mansion.
We scoped out the mansion a little bit. We deduced that at least there's a good, 70% chance that the wife is still doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on a shopping spree.
Yeah.
We went on a shopping spree. And, my favorite part, Em got cursed.
No,
Forgot about that.
we got it off.
Yeah, we got it off, but you did get cursed. And that was a good, funny moment.
It was. I was very happy.
We could have minor illusion to make it look like you didn't have a shield on you.
Oh yeah, I got that holy sigil too.
Yeah, and then we got a lot of candles. Actually, question about the candles. Are they, multiple time use, one time use?
Once a day.
Okay, cool.
So, what candles did you get again?
I got the Fear Candle.
Okay.
I got the Phantasmal Force Candle.
Uh-huh.
I have a Swap Body Rune,
I forgot about that
which
one.
that's going to be interesting. And I have a necklace that gives me advantage against charms. So now I am officially better than elves.
I got a holy sigil, like his rune, but I don't know what it does. A cursed shield, and a shear that casts shield once per day.
Yep.
As well as I already had an invisibility... Oh, and I also bought an invisibility candle.
Yep.
That's right.
And just assume that all magical objects are a once per day / once per long rest.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's ongoing is that necklace against charm person, where it's just you just have advantage on rolls.
Yep.
Like an elf. Anyway.
I'm a real elf now.
So you do stuff during the next day or so from where we last met you, but nothing of interest really happened.
There was something I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
And that's okay. I wanted to, if I could, talk to a lady who runs everything
Joe?
because I got this dumb... Well, no, chat's already up.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah. It's just up right there.
Cool.
I wanted to try to get this shield uncursed, and she seems to know a lot of people, so I wanted to ask her if she knew who I could go to get this thing uncursed.
Legit, if you're able to talk to her before I get to talk to her, Franz is going to throw a hissy fit. He's gonna
Or
go
even
out.
just talking to the guy who is the purveyor of magical items. Just trying to ask around
Okay.
who would I be able to talk to about this shield, and I will be leaving the shield behind in like whatever cubby hole they let me have in the place, because having this cursed magical item on me at all times walking through the city that's big and can't be hidden away easily seems like a bad idea.
So I'm like holding the shield with my mage hand.
Well, no, I it's when you wield the shield, so you have to like put it on.
Oh, I thought.
So if you're just carrying it, you're fine. But as soon as you like put your hand in the
I'm not
boots-
trusting it.
Oh.
Like, well, maybe we can cut off the bindings. Maybe that's what's cursed. Nope. Okay.
I don't think that's how this works, Franz.
We can go talk to either Scruggs. He deals with the armory, but Zeno deals with kind of like magical stuff. So maybe it could be a joint effort. Maybe they can collab across the Thieves Guild.
Perhaps.
Just fixing the levels. Don't mind me. Anyway. So you gonna gathering both of them?
Sure. Meeting of the minds.
Sure. So Scruggs is looking it over and he's like, "Yep, looks like a shield to me." But they're also keeping it at arm's length because they don't trust it just about the same amount as Franz trusts it. And he's like, "Why do you think I would know cursed stuff?"
Well, it's not necessarily that you know cursed things. It's that perhaps you'd be able to point me in the direction of who might be able to, who's in the realm of improving or, magical items, who might have a better idea of what to deal with, what to do to make this thing, because it's a pretty good shield otherwise. It's just, I don't want it strapped to my arm at all times.
Maybe you Captain America it.
You'd have to Captain America yourself with it. So Scruggs looks to Zeno and he's like, "Do you know?" And Zeno's like, "Yeah, you know that cleric guy, that priest guy at the rundown church. He knows magic stuff. Like, can't he like uncurse it?"
Well, it would appear not. He wasn't exactly sure. He was able to get it off of me, which is more than I can say for some others, but he wasn't able to figure out how to remove the curse from the item.
Well, I'm all out of ideas.
All right, Mr. Zeno.
Zeno, how's the robes going?
They're robes.
Okay.
What robes did you need?
Inquisitor robes for everyone in the guild. It's part of my master plan.
Right, okay.
And you had a lot of time for this, Zeno.
Not gonna lie. Got a little drunk. Didn't get a lot of work done. Got a lot of drinking done. Can't yell at me for that.
I would not blame you. I mean, that is priority. It's on the guild rules. Actually, it's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Don't disrespect Joe. Drinking is priority.
Yup. So, I guess I'm gonna have to get on that.
Yep.
But first, and he looks back to Scruggs and he goes, "Wanna go drinking?" They're gonna day drink. No, they're not. They probably have stuff to do.
Like day drinking. It's the brunch episode, everybody.
Yep. Imagine just day drinking at the fucking pediatrician's office as Fancy McFancy Pants brings their kid in for a checkup.
It's Steady's the hand.
Yes. Okay. So unfortunately they don't seem to know who would be able to remove that curse. He will go like, maybe if I hear, a little birdie whisper a name, I might pass it along to you.
Alright.
But yeah, that was my one and only. So good luck, little lady.
Oh, by the way, Scruggs, before I forget,
Mm.
I put a lot of stuff on the guild tab.
How much?
I'm sure he'll tell you. I forgot the cleric's name. He's like, they're working on. I told him that the guild is going to work with him post.
Why?
Because I needed cool stuff, man.
Well, Joe is going to hear about it, and she's
If
not
she ever
gonna
opens
like
that
it.
damn door.
She will probably soon, but yeah, she's not gonna like that.
No, she's going to love it because I have a master plan. I'm working through. It's firing. Neurons are firing, Scruggs.
I don't know why she hasn't killed you yet.
You know what? That's a legitimately good question. No one knows.
Yeah. All right, Scram. I got shit to do.
Cool.
So you're walking back. Where did you store the shield? It was with you at that point. So where do you store the shield in the meantime?
Oh, I'll ask Mr. Armory Scruggs before he gets out. Where can I store this while I'm waiting till I'm figuring it out? Where did she go?
Why don't you put it in Franz's old cubby?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll put it in there.
Okay. As you're doing that, this cute little ferret just scampers into the door. And it kind of runs around your feet looking up at the both of you like it's like on a mission. Like, do an insight check on it.
That would be an 11, I believe.
That's gonna be a nice 9.
Okay. It's very difficult for you to understand like what its goal is, but it's definitely looking for something.
Hey, Lucky,
and
how you doing?
Finally, when it settles down, it looks at you long and hard. And then like it opens its mouth and you expect like a ferret noise, and you don't know what a ferret noise is because I don't think you've really seen many ferrets.
History check. Well, it's
Or
a nat
a
1, so
nature.
this is a foreign beast to me.
Okay, so it is a foreign beast. And you imagine like a squirrel sound because you've seen squirrels before, maybe something like that. But instead, you hear Ash's voice come out of this ferret. And it says, "Found secret hideout in park by mayor's mansion. Got captured, need help. They might kill me. Enter by fountain, press stone down. Guard dogs underground." Shit. And that's it. And then the ferret, like, it was, like, focused before and, like, looking for something. And as soon as that happened, it's like, and then it looks around. And then it just, like, starts, like, doing ferrety things. Like, it's sniffing. Now it seems to have a completely different demeanor.
This is gonna be like a New Hope where I'm, like, hitting the thing to make Leia play again.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat!
Do an animal handling check.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Animal handling, that's gonna be a 14.
It looks like it's ready to bite you. But then you quickly oh, maybe if I go under the chin and just scratch it. So you're not able to make it play again, but you don't get bit by it.
Okay.
I'll pull out a little piece of rations. I'm assuming we always have little rations on us, and I'll feed the ferret a little, and I'll just say, "You did a good job. Now you can head on out wherever you'd like to go."
Yep.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have to go play a rescue team.
Yeah.
Assuming that the ferret contains truthful information.
Given what we heard, do I get a sense of like how recent this was sent?
You could do an Arcana check.
Okay. That's gonna be an 18.
Okay. You've never really seen this spell before at all, but based on your knowledge of the arcane and kind of what you've seen what people are able to do, most spells last a day at most, and that's for like special spells.
Okay.
So.
In the last 24 hours. Okay, cool. Okay, well, shall we go to the park fountain?
Well, there's an issue with doing that. As you may recall, yesterday, would it be yesterday or would it be 2 days ago?
I'm gonna say tonight. It would have been 2 days ago,
okay.
And tonight is the day of the meeting that you heard the people talking about.
Okay. Well, as you may recall, 2 days ago, right around when the elephants tried to attack, I went to scope out the mayor's mansion to see what was going on, and I was whisked away and told that the park was not open to the public. Now, they did say that I could come back the next day and it might be open, but based on this message and some of the other intel we've gathered, I don't think that'll be the case. So it will have to be a little more covered ups than just waltzing into the park.
Well, you have a candle now, last time I checked.
Yes, it'll make me invisible.
Let's go get lucky.
And if we could figure out a way in, that doesn't use the magical items we might want to use inside this strange cavern.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Who is that?
Hi.
Are you recording? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll kill you. No, I'm kidding.
You're alright.
What's up?
Forgot my bag.
It's all good.
This is Nathan. Cat's mustache.
Hello.
But yes, if you'd... So, we have other ways of getting into places, perhaps, than just becoming invisible. And so I would just prefer if we could preserve our magical abilities for when we may really need them. Because if we could solve this problem without using them, that's good for us, right? In the long run. So, how do we get into the secret place underneath the fountain? That's the question. Because even if I was invisible, how would you get in there?
I would try to sneak in there.
All
Wouldn't be the first time I've had to go through their stuff. I just know that Lucky has a spell that can make it so that we can probably not be seen.
Yeah, you just get a +10 to
Yep.
stealth checks.
But he has to be with us. It's only in a 10-foot radius.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I don't
But then I'd
think-
have a 21, a +21.
I don't know. I don't know if we should even get Lucky to help us with this. This seems to less hands on deck the better when you're trying to sneak into places. So yes, he might help us get in, but what happens when we get in? He is stuck with us until the end.
Yeah, he just goes scampers off like a stray dog.
Maybe. If you think that's the best course of option,
I think
we
that
can
is
try it.
a course of option.
All right.
Because other than just trying to like MacGyver our way in, this seems like the most secure way.
Who has the tightest lips here?
Not me.
No, yes, I know it's not you,
And
but I'm
not
wondering
Lucky.
because when we head out and we want to do this, someone should know where we're going and what we're doing, in case we need backup at some point.
Probably the guild chief scout Leaf.
All right. Why don't we call Leaf over and just let him know?
What's Leaf's personality like?
He is trying to remember because I haven't thought about him in a while. Oh, he's just very like drill sergeant almost.
Okay.
Yeah, he maintains the guild scouts in a very strict fashion, and that's why Joe wanted Franz to work under him.
Yup. So Leaf, I don't think has spoken with you much, Em, but I think he would have been definitely made aware of who you are. And when you approach him, he goes, "Make it quick."
Well, hello. There. So, just so
Quicker.
Just so you are
Don't piss him
aware.
off.
One of our compatriots, Ash. Are you aware of Ash?
Yes.
Yes. Well, he appears to have been captured by the Inquisition and/or the Mayor's wife's forces. I'm not exactly sure. It's wait. No, we knew that the Inquisition is meeting under the fountain, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And so we are going to attempt to rescue him, but we just thought it would be good to let someone know what we're up to in the time being, in case we don't come back. You'll know where we are. I don't know if is there anything else we need.
Yeah, Leaf, do you know any ways to get from here to the park without being seen?
It's probably Mini Park.
I didn't really.
What was the name of the park?
Fancy Pants Park.
Fancy Pants Park.
Yeah, we need to go to FP.
Oh, okay.
FP.
well, FPP. Sorry. He thinks for a while. He goes, "I could get you close to it, but not necessarily all the way up into the park. I could get you." So he kind of describes it as like, if this is the mayor's house, and then here's the park, and there's just a bunch of like residential areas from here to here, and a lot of like gated off spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could get you like here, and you could like, and like this would be gated off over as well. So
Right.
you would have to find your way through here.
Yeah.
So you're fighting against any potential sentry that's guarding this,
But
but
it's
you're not
less
going to
likely
be...
to be guarded because it's not a path that's traditionally into the park.
Exactly. So you're
Alright.
fighting more against the natural barriers and the man-made barriers rather than human
Gotcha.
barriers.
Leaf, how are we getting there?
Sewers.
Cool. Are you aware? By the way, we haven't really caught up lately. Are you aware of the blue people down there?
What blue people?
Yeah, there's blue people down there. They've been like eating real people. It's a whole thing.
Before you go, you're gonna have to tell me about that.
Okay.
It's not something you just drop on me and go.
So we did a whole breakfast club thing, where we went down in the sewers and had all the teenagers practice on rats. Well, there weren't rats. There were blue people. Because there aren't.
Like people.
Imagine if like I was blue.
That's
Here,
a blue version of a shitty human.
I will turn
Ig-
myself into a changeling, or no, sorry, into the doppelganger, and say this is what they look like, and
Are they sentient?
more sentient than most beasts, but less sentient than most people. And then I'll pop back.
They're
to
like feral dog level, I would say. Like they respond, like they'll respond to you, if you're like not being aggressive. So yeah, it's a thing.
Okay, and how difficult were they to... Did you apprehend any?
We
Did
didn't
you...
have too difficult of a time, but I'd imagine that someone less skilled in combat might have a...
Are you suggesting I am less skilled in combat?
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about who you might send down. I don't know what you're planning. I'm just trying to give you an idea.
I think
don't
Kingsley
take
could handle it by
So
himself.
don't take it personally. Yes,
Jesus
if you are a skilled fighter, I'd expect you'd be able to take on 2 or 3 by yourself quite easy. Not without too much of a hassle. But they appeared, we were a group of 4 or 5 at the time, and when we started attacking one group, another group came very soon thereafter. So we were swarmed by like 6 or 7 at once, which would mean that you might think you're in a good spot to, wrestle with 1 or 2, and then you might be overwhelmed quickly. And so that would be maybe more the worry, less so an individual one though, in terms of its fighting skills.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to scout that issue out.
Hey.
But... And that's in character. He
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
But yeah, we're more concerned about safe passage for us and our usual means more than eradicating them entirely. So, don't anticipate us going as far out as where you're going. If
This
you
was like literally like right outside our doors.
Well, that's even more concerning. Why the hell did you not say it sooner?
I tried to tell Jo, and then I got shooed away. She told me.
Oh, and Joe's the only person here with authority?
Kinda.
Literally anyone else beside you?
I think I might have mentioned to Scruggs, but he was really drunk. There's a drinking.
Just
We have a
go.
drinking
Just go.
problem.
Just go. And actually, he says just go, and as soon as you turn around, no, come back. 2 things. Don't bring anything that will lead anyone back here, because if you die, you die, but I don't want you ruining it for the rest of us if you get caught up with the Inquisition.
Is this initiation day?
What?
I feel like I've been told this every time I leave. You're telling me the same damn thing.
Yes.
And I've never led. I've only brought good things to this guild. Terrific things to this guild.
You brought King.
Technically, he brought himself.
You sent him.
And how's he been doing?
Like, average at best.
Well, that's, I'm terrible, so that's better. I found a good replacement for me.
Anyway, long story short, don't lead anyone back here. And
Okay.
2, wait for us to scout out those things first.
The doppelgangers?
Yes. Like I said, we're not going to go all the way out to where you're planning on going, but we should at least cover the immediate area before you go out. And if you're truly planning on rescuing your friend, it might be better to let us do some of the fighting.
Mr. Leaf, Perhaps.
Mr. Leaf is my father.
All right. Senior Leaf. I would say that our current mission is pretty time critical. When the Inquisition gets their hands on someone, they don't always stay in the same place for very long.
They killed me immediately.
Exactly. And so
Could they have not done a better job with that?
So would you suggest we just find a different way into the park?
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, you're also welcome to go ahead in the sewers and fight whatever you might encounter.
Yes. How long do you think it would take if we had to wait?
2 hours.
What time is it right now?
I would say it's probably about midday.
I'm a little uncomfortable with 2 hours in France.
Well, we can try to find an alternative way, or we could take this route. We might have to do a little riffraff on the way, but this seems a lot more safe than any other option.
Well, okay, we'll try to sneak our way through. Alright, let's do it.
Without waiting?
Without waiting.
Okay.
Because we know that the meeting is tonight. We don't want to be there when the Inquisition and everyone is meeting there. That seems foolish. We won't be able to take them on. Our best bet is to do it when security is lighter, perhaps in the middle of the day. For all we know, they might be making an example of Ash. Tonight. So I would like to try to get there and solve this issue as soon as possible.
Yeah, and given... I'm imagining that they're going to use Ash as some sort of bargaining chip.
Exactly.
Being from an affluent family.
They might use us as a bargaining chip.
Well, we have no standing in society.
Oh yeah, and I have no value.
Yeah, we are worthless. Whereas Ash holds a lot of... That is a political chip, if there ever was one. Cool. Okay, Leaf, lead the way.
You mean you want me to go with you?
You said you were taking us
You
there.
have to take us through the sewers so we can get to where we need to go.
Oh, sorry. I misrepresented that. He could describe to you how to get there.
Alright. Describe to us how to get there, Mr. Leaf.
So you would know how to get there. You would just have to make stealth checks to avoid anything that might be nefarious down there.
Alright.
And did you want to see anyone else? Did you want to stock up on anything else before you go? Not to say that there's...
Leaf, can you give me a map of the sewers? Do you have one charted out? Because I want to make sure as we're going through to mark any, nests. I don't know what else to call them. Nests.
Yeah.
So that when you go out and start clearing stuff out, you have a more accurate plan of attack.
Sure. Yeah, give me one moment. And he goes to his office, rummages around, comes back with one of the shittier maps. It's definitely not the nicest one or the most accurate one. But he plans on going out there while you're out as well, so he's just kind of going to cross-reference.
Really? You only have one good map? You can't give me the shitty one?
We will leave this marked up map if we find anything at the base of the ladder where we exit the sewers.
Okay. Can you both make a stealth check?
17.
That would be a 20.
Okay, you're good. Make one more.
A natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Beautiful.
Plus 5, 25.
Make a constitution check.
Or just check or saving throw?
Just a check.
5.
10. Sorry, 8.
Okay. You're in the sewers for a long ass time, and for you it's been a while since you've had to do this, and even if you did this in the past, it's probably still been a while. So you're feeling just a little woozy, a little lightheaded. You have to focus a little bit more. So you can either slow down for your last check and make a normal stealth check, or you could keep at the same pace, but you roll with disadvantage for your next stealth check.
I'm down for slowing down.
Alright.
I mean, I have a lot of stealth, so...
Hey, Franz, I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Let's just take a
21.
16.
Okay. So you're able to make it out through the sewers undetected and unbothered.
As we go through, did I notice any nests, any disturbed...
Yeah, why don't you make a investigation check 3 times?
I'll aid him. with that, so you can have advantage on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just roll 2 and then 2 and then 2, right?
So 19 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
12.
Well, no, you have advantage on all of them
Yep.
because I'm aiding
Yeah.
you.
16. So 12. Investigation, that'd be a 16, 24, and a 27.
Okay. You're able to, and then you're also marking up the map accordingly. You're able to find a good, 7 nests. And what's interesting about them, when you get, because you don't notice it on all of them, but the one where you roll the highest, you find some, notes left behind. So it's almost like these things, or someone was with these things, and the notes were kind of left behind as in in a little cubby hole.
Mm.
So you're able to figure out someone who is more intelligent than these things is dealing with these things in some capacity. But the handwriting, it's probably common, but it's literally so messy you can barely read a word, and it's in shorthand as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell what it says, but you know that someone intelligent is working with these to some capacity.
Interesting.
Keep that mark that down as well.
Mhm.
They will not be happy when all their things are dead.
So yeah. So you're up, and there's a lot. Just imagine there's just thick underbrush, thick trees. It's just kind of where the nature part is, and it's all guarded behind this 15-foot fence.
Alright.
And just down here, and then 1 second, then it goes over here.
Hey Franz, do you see anybody keeping watch?
Um,
And I'll take a perception check as well.
That's going to be a 21.
An 11 for me.
Okay, you're not able to see anything. The brush is just too damn thick. There's too many trees. You're just looking in the wrong areas. Off at the edge, this is the fountain over here. And then around it is little stepping stones where, you could sit, facing the opposite way. And then there's pavement around here.
You said it's a 15-foot fence. Does it look like?
15-foot high.
It is. Does it look like we could climb up of it? Does it look like there's places to put our hands and things, or is it sheer?
It's like a chain link fence.
Okay, so climbable for sure.
Yeah, it's mostly made to keep out wildlife,
Okay.
and also to deter people,
Alright.
who might be
This
walking
looks pretty
through.
climbable.
Yep. And there is one Inquisition guard pacing. They're going in this direction, so they kind of pace along this way, and you imagine once they reach the end of that, they're just gonna pace right back.
Alright. So what we want to do is let's say that this fellow, maybe the best place to be would be at one of the ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment we see him turn the corner, that gives us the most time to get over the fence and keep moving before he can see us.
Mm-hmm. I like that plan.
Alright, let's do that.
Make a stealth check to get to the fence.
That is going to be a 27.
Okay, you're able to get there now. Here's the thing.
Well, we want it to be
Oh, sorry. One more time. So over here, and then you're over here.
Well, yeah, and when he turns the corner is when we climb the fence, or
Okay.
something along those lines. So that
Well,
gives us the most time to
Just
get
bear
up
in
and
mind,
over.
he'll turn the corner, but if he hears something,
Yes.
he's gonna be able to see you.
He's
Yes.
going to Metal Gear Solid the shit out of
But
us.
it makes more sense for us
Right.
that way. If we did it in the middle of the fence, then
Yeah.
he's coming back. He's never very far from the middle of the fence,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. So you're going to have to make both an athletics check and a stealth check. And the athletics check is to get you up to the top. You're going to have to make another to climb back down or jump down.
Okay.
So do your athletics first to see if you're able to get up.
17.
6.
You're able to get up, but Franz, you you're like hastily trying to get up there. Like you think that if you go real fast and real quick, like it'll be just like the wind shook it, you know. But you lose your grounding and you fall back. But it's kind of halfway. So roll 1d4 just for bludgeoning damage or falling damage.
1.
Okay. And I need you to, as a reaction, so pretty much he hears Franz fall in the brush, and he hears like rustling. So you're going to have to, at this point, to not be seen, because like he's over here, and he's going to turn around. So at this point, it's probably not good for you to try and climb down. So you're probably going to have to jump. So you're going to make an acrobatics check to jump down, and then a stealth check to hide, unless you have a different idea.
I'm going to, from the top of the fence, hearing that happen, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and it's going to be a little squirrel, and I'm just going to, no, not squirrel, a dog.
Okay.
And it'll be like on this side of the fence, and it'll just be running in that direction or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to like roll into a brush to create that sound.
Okay. Do a performance check. He's going to roll an insight check with disadvantage on it because like he's still in like an alert state of mind.
16.
Okay. Yeah. That was a 15 and a 3. So he's successfully fooled by that dog. And he stares and he's standing there like, and here's the thing, like you're like up on the top of the fucking thing, like naked as can be, and like he.
I would assume I'm wearing my clothes.
Well, you know what I mean. And you're like, oh shit, if he literally just looks up, I'm done for. Okay. But he's like squinting, he's staring at that dog, he follows it, and then he stands there for a little while. And then he just keeps walking.
And this is an Inquisitioner?
Yes.
Alright.
And then like he's gone back, walk in that direction.
And then I'll slowly climb down the fence.
Okay, I'm going to try to get up it again.
Okay. Just make a stealth check with advantage because you're taking a lot of care.
Not too good. 11, but
okay.
I mean,
it had to have been pretty bad to like. He hears the like jingling of the fence, but like he's just assuming it's like the dog again because he knows that a dog is there.
And now at this point, he's probably like maybe walking like all the way over there, so he's a little further away, maybe making Franz's failing abilities to climb things. So now I'm on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
And I could have been at the top and kind of helped him up. Oops. Well, now I'm down here.
Oh, well.
And so I'm going to, while he's trying to climb the fence, I'm just going to, like, get behind a tree and try to keep an eye on the guy. Because, like, if he's coming up and I see, like, Franz is right there, maybe I'll try to, fool him once again.
Yeah.
So it's athletics, right?
Yep. What's that?
It's a 7.
Yeah. You're able to, not fall, but your hands are really sweaty and you're just not you're not having a hand spaghetti. Yeah, you're just not climbing this fence right now.
No, I'm not an athletic guy.
And you're just staring at M like
can't do anything. Okay, so am I on
Put
it?
your feet inside of those little diamond things. Okay, you've got small feet. You're like 15 years old. All right, and then just put your hands in. It's not too difficult. It's like climbing a slightly more inconvenient ladder.
And at this point,
I say this all in a whisper.
Yeah.
Is it just enough upper body strength?
Take another try. He's on his way over.
10.
It's still not enough.
I'm sure it isn't.
Jesus Christ. You're able to make it halfway.
Okay.
And he's just dangling there?
Yeah, he's going slow.
Alright.
What?
6.
Oh my god. You're like... use a luck point for fuck's sake. Please.
I mean... I just keep rolling shitty. It's like the scene from Jurassic Park. That's what it is.
This is painful. So yeah, he's on his way back. You're 3/4 of the way up.
20.
Okay.
Unnatural.
You just... and then make a acrobatics check to land on the other side.
Yeah, it's gonna be 17.
Okay. After just beefing it for so long, you get this... You see him start rounding the corner.
The
and you're
adrenaline
like,
is just rushing
oh shit,
through
oh
me.
shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and now he's here. So you two are behind a tree. Now you're kind of hidden, but not terribly so. Where like once he starts getting like over here, like you're gonna have to figure out where you're at. And I'm just gonna say this is like you're on the other side of the fence, but
Right.
But actually, let me just. But what's the plan from here?
So there's not another fence, right?
No.
No, it's just so we want to. So the issue with continuing to move forward. Okay,
I'm just gonna redraw this.
I'm going to cast minor illusion, but this time instead of a dog, minor illusion can be used to make a sound at any volume or noise, and so from 30 feet. So from behind the fence again, I'm just gonna make a bark, 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 like it's like running off in another direction.
1 second. I'm just gonna draw everything.
That's the fountain.
Yep.
All right.
Imagine it's bigger, but fuck it. The size of the fountain on the inside, I feel, is inconsequential. Oh. That's pavement. And I'm gonna say there's a couple of trees, like, but they're more decorative than anything, dotting along. So now he's here. You two are behind this one right here, and you said you 30 foot on the other side.
Make a bark, bark, bark from a dog, but it's the sound can be any volume and noise. So I'm just going to like cast it like 3 times. And make it sound like maybe it's getting closer to the fence. So like starting off a little quieter and then getting like louder and trying to get his attention to like move like towards the fence. And if I see him kind of turn his head or anything, I want to try to move over to the next tree.
Okay. Here's what happens with that. He hears the bark, and he turns over to and I say they. You can't tell whether they're man or woman. And they've got the scary mask on still. And they reach into their cloak, and they rifle around for a little bit, and then they pull out like a half-eaten sandwich. And he crouches at the chain link fence, and he's like, whistling for the dog and offering.
All right, so I'm gonna just go to the next tree. Like I'm gonna try to get 2 trees over if I can. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do a stealth check with advantage.
21.
I rolled
Okay.
2 18s plus 11, 29.
You roll well enough to get over to here. And at this point, that was... Okay, so that was like 10 seconds or 12 seconds technically. So he's sitting there, he's whistling for the dog, and he's listening. And then he figures the dog's not coming, so he... And then just starts going this way. So he's moving in this direction. So once again, like if he gets down here,
and it looks over. So what I want to just get on the other side of the tree. But can I quickly like look around and make sure there's not another Inquisitioner like doing his thing? I don't see anything.
Okay.
4.
13.
I mean, this point it's fairly out in the open. You don't if someone's hiding, you probably don't see them, but you do see another Inquisition guard off in the distance, not terribly so, I'd say like 120 feet, guarding the entrance into the park. And they're looking out, they're not concerned with what's already inside.
So looking at the fountain, given the message I got, do I know where I need to go?
So just to remind you what the, enter by fountain, press stone down. Now there's no like decorative stones or boulders. Like this is pavement, but these are like stone, like platform type things. So you imagine it's one of these things, but you don't know.
Can I make an investigation check to try to see if one of them seems out of place?
Yeah.
That would be a 15.
Unnatural 20.
No,
Okay.
15. Oh yeah, yes, 15. 11 plus 4.
Okay. So you're able to tell over here that this one seems out of place. But with your investigation check, Franz, you notice something like a little bit more. Not only that, but there's like a weird like scuffing over like on this like the pavement here and against the bottom stone. And you would imagine like if this is a secret place, like people are gonna sit here, you know, so how, like, why would you just sit down and open up a secret lair? Like, oh no, like if I sit in this chair, suddenly a panel opens and the general public would do that. So you imagine something has to be done over here in addition to that stone.
Where's that god who's up there? Has he moved? Is he back, like moving away from?
Well, if you wanted to wait until he's moving back,
Or
in
maybe
the
we
other
made an
direction.
investigation check. I assume that takes like 6 seconds or whatever.
So he would be over here, like you're on this side,
Yeah.
so they're not gonna be looking for you. Like they look down here, don't see you, and then they're gonna be on their way back here. And if you wanted to wait until they're like over here to do something,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I want to stealthily approach the fountain.
Okay.
I'll keep just watch out
Good idea.
from the tree, and I'll just keep an eye on both the gods.
25.
Okay.
You want me to make a check or anything?
Yeah, do a insight check on the guards or investigation, whichever one you want to do.
9.
Okay. I mean they're patrolling, and you said you got up to here.
Yeah, and that was a 25 stealth.
Okay.
I can roll fucking stealth checks.
Yeah, no, I mean you're there. Now what?
Okay, so the one stone that seemed a little bit funny, I want to like, I don't want to fully press it. I just want to like wang jangle it to see like, I just want to see like what this does. Like, does it move? Do I push? Do I pull? Like, how does this operate? So
Okay.
I want to investigate it. That's gonna be a 19.
Okay. You tell that you have to put about like, you know, like, I don't know, like 20 pounds worth of pressure on it at least. So like you have to sit down or just press down on it.
Do I get a sense that this is gonna create a lot of noise, or that is like what are the mechanisms that I would know from this area?
Okay. What was the check again?
It was a 19.
Okay. You're able to look like, and you don't see any place that like over here that like, oh yeah, this, you know, it'll fall away and there reveal a passage. But you do notice like there's like a hatch almost, like the water's coming out of the fountain, and where the water comes out of, there's this hatch, and you think that this will stop it from draining, so you could not draining, going up, so it'll drain the fountain, so you can open the hatch and go inside.
Okay.
To wherever.
As I press it, I want, and when the water stops,
Well, let's pause, because you just pressing it isn't enough. There has to be something done over here.
what else do I have to do?
It's literally there's the last stone like underneath, because it's like little stones and then big stones at the
Okay.
top. So as you press down on the top, you have to just push in the little stone as you do that.
So, I assume when I press it in, the water is going to have like one last moment of hurrah. While that's happening, I want to cast Minor Illusion to make it look like the fountain is still going.
So pause.
Minor illusions only go up 5 foot by 5 foot,
it's 5
and
by
it can't
5.
make sound and
Yeah.
image at the same time. So, I'm not saying you can't do that, but
Okay. Well, then I know what I want to do. When he gets his back to the fountain, I want to replicate the sound with Minor Illusion and press it. So the sound to his ears, the fountain is still going, even though it will stop.
Okay. So as you do that and you watch this happen, it's draining, but not nearly quick enough for you to comfortably get in.
Oh, I don't need to be comfortable.
I don't know, I'm just saying, like, so, I'm trying to think, it'd be easier if I had, like, a time thing, but it'd probably take 30 seconds, and he would be, like, looking at it at that point. So you start letting it drain, and as he's approaching the end of his path, you realize it's not going to drain quickly enough. So you can pop it back up and...
Yeah, I'll pop it back up, and I'm assuming the water will start up again. I want to stay, yeah. What else do I want to do? Okay, yeah, I'll head back.
Okay.
28.
Okay. Yep. I'm just gonna assume that this guy's gonna patrol back and forth.
Yep.
Ad nauseum until you do something. No, I'm just saying, you guys are
I know
able
exactly
to
what
talk
I'm gonna do.
and,
Give me 1 second.
I
need to look up some rules.
Yep. And I'm not saying you have to have combat with them.
How far
It's
away
just,
are we?
What do you mean?
How far away? So we're.
So I'm gonna say from here to him is true to this.
So.
This is going to be
10, 15,
actually
20,
bigger,
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay. How tall is the water, the fountain?
Imagine just the Golden Mire fountain, and that's what it is.
Okay, so. 10,
Except with
10 foot?
more water in it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I am going to. 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to go to the middle tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17.
Yep.
I'm going to use my Phantasmal Force Candle.
Remind me what that does again, even though I literally gave you that.
You craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of a creature that you can see within range. This target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, you create a phantasmal object, creature, or other visible phenomenon of your choice that is no larger than a 10-foot cube and that is perceivable only to the target for the duration. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs. The phantasm includes sound, temperature, and other stimuli, also only evident to the creature. The target can use its action to examine the intelligence against my spell save DC.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say it's a 15 for those things, unless you're at...
Yeah. So when it's affected by the spell, the target has to treat it as if it were real. Mm-hmm. The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm. So they have to rationalize any illogical outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Affected target is so convinced of the phantasm's reality that it can even take damage. So if it was if I said someone's attacking you, they would take 1d6.
Yeah, they rolled a 4 on the dice. So they believe that the fountain's still going.
Cool. And then...
And what is this other god doing?
You could roll an investigation check while he does that.
20 for 2.
Yeah, he's just pacing back and forth looking out this entire time.
So, and then I'm going to use Minor Illusion to replicate the sound for the other guard. So it'll...
Right, yeah.
So in
And no, Minor Illusion is Minor Illusion a concentration spell? You might want me to do that with the sound. You could just tell me to do it, and then I can do it.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
I'll do the sound.
Yeah, you can do the sound. Okay. So, Minor Illusion, the sound, Phantasmal Force, this other captain,
I dig it.
It's the realest shit he's ever seen.
Now he's hearing 2 fountains at the same time.
I'm assuming
I mean...
2 fountains doesn't... I mean, that's a pretty... that's not a sound. It's not like 2 voices going at the same time.
The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes.
Yeah, I would say that's totally fine. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because he doesn't not perceive the Minor Illusion sound coming from the fountain.
Yep. No, you solved my fountain puzzle. So I just assume it's the same thing as before. You wait until he's turned around, or stealthing.
Oh, it's stealth too.
Yep.
22.
10. 11.
Okay, I mean, at that point, you're able to get unseen by, the guards, but they're also, their backs are to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have to, you feel pretty confident. You're probably going to have to figure out a way to stay hidden when he goes over here, because it is going to take a little bit longer.
I'll sneak around the fountain, and lay low. Because it's like a bench, so I can, get down.
Yep, that's totally fine. All right, so the fountain dries up. He goes this way, goes that way with his back turned. You're able to pop in and open up the hatch, and down there it's a
Does the fountain start going again when he does this?
Yes, so you have to just go quick. You drop in, you close the lid, but once you close the lid, the water doesn't seep back down. And then
their sealing technology is On
Does it look
point.
like? Does it look like? As I'm just getting through this very quickly, does it appear that this is like some sort of magical way of sealing the water from going down?
You could do an Arcana check.
10.
That would be a 9.
Doesn't seem magical.
Cool, cool, cool.
So you're able to, and then you go down.
Climb down a ladder, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right.
And it is time to erase this.
Yay!
So as you're climbing down, it's an eerie sort of feeling because it's really cold down here. Like you didn't expect it to be this cold. It's not freezing by any means, but it's almost like morgue freezing.
Gotcha. More eerie than anything.
Yeah. And it's dark. There are torches, but even the torches just kind of have like this like bluish, eerie kind of feel to it. Not magical. It's not warm. Neither visually nor like sensually.
Is it dark down here?
No. It's I won't even say it's dimly lit. It's not like the orangey kind of flame. It like all of the covers have it like they have like a shade over it to make the light a little bit cooler.
Is the fire warm?
I'm sorry?
Is the fire warm?
Yeah, it's real fire.
Okay.
But it's not great.
Cool.
So you get down and it's I mean I have dungeon tiles, but it's straight up just complete finished gray marble. Polished, beautiful. You could do a perception check to get more, but you two...
19.
13.
Okay. So you see along the walls, like because it's like finished, it's not like scratch marks like in, but it's like if you scratch the surface of something hard enough that just the finish is a little not nice. And you see like 4 scratch marks of 2 hands just dragging along certain parts of the wall. You notice there's little scuff marks, also by nails, but not quite the same as like up on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like scampering type of like running, quick turn back, running, quick turn, little like wrestle, kind of that sort of thing. So it's less coherent than the very obvious like stop, type thing over here.
Do I get a sense of like anything that makes that kind of erratic movement?
Do a nature check.
It's not gonna be good. Nature 10.
Some sort of animal. You
Okay.
don't know. And there's a door on the opposite side.
That's the only thing. There's just one door.
Yep. So I'll just describe it like the stairs are over here. You went down the stairs. This is a wall. Turn the corner, and then now you're along a corridor.
Do I see any traps or anything on the ground?
You can investigate.
7. 6.
You do not notice any traps.
Alright, I don't see anything, this is the kind of place where there would, there must be a lot of foot traffic here, so I'm just gonna start proceeding.
Okay. How far do you go?
I'm just proceeding to the door, and I'll have a sword out, like I conjure, the long sword in my hand and my normal shield.
Are you walking with them?
Yeah, and then Sova is gonna reappear on my shoulder. Sorry, Sova. Don't mean to be keeping you in your pocket dimension.
What do you do when you get to the door?
Alright, I'm just gonna see if it's locked, but not like totally turn the doorknob or open it.
Okay. You give the slightest little, and here's the thing, like, you hear, like, it jiggle a little.
Oh, is
like,
there anyone on the other side of the door? I'm sorry, I should have asked that first. I would have like listened in at the door first, but it's too late now.
Yeah, like you could have said perception check instead of try and jiggle the door.
Yeah.
So you give the slightest little turn, and like you could tell that it's unlocked. But as soon as you like jiggle it, you hear woof woof, and then like just a chorus of like alert barks. What do you do?
A bunch of dogs.
Bunch of doggos. I don't want to be hurting dogs.
Sometimes you don't have a choice, tiger killer.
Yeah, but that was a tiger. These are pups.
Okay, so do I hear any humans try to corral the dogs or anything? Or not necessarily humans, but is there anyone like being like, hey, shut up, you dumb mutt?
Yeah. Make a perception
Mutts. Okay, so there's multiple dogs,
check.
correct?
There are definitely multiple dogs.
15.
You don't hear anyone say anything.
Cool.
So
But they are still definitely barking.
These things have a pretty attuned hearing. I assume that when we open this door, maybe they'll be nice and want to lick us and jump on us and pounce in a nice way. But I'm betting that that's not the case.
I'm gonna almost guarantee that's probably not gonna happen.
So, dogs likely do not like fire, and I can make a lot of fire, and that could help us here.
Do we get a sense of how many dogs there are? Just
roll
from
your perception check
so I got anyone.
or investigation. At this point.
16.
Okay. You don't know exactly how many, but more than 2, less than 5.
Okay. Gotta go pack in there.
So, are we going to try to kill him with kindness, or are we going to try to just kill him?
We don't know what the room is gonna be like.
This is true.
Maybe we can scare them, get them back in their cages, but we don't really have many choices. I mean, time's ticking. We gotta get through this.
Alright, I'm going to changeling form into a large bugbear, and or hobgoblin, sorry, large hobgoblin, and I'm going to set my blade aflame, and I want to kick down the door and create bonfire right in front of me and make a loud noise.
Oh my gosh.
And try to scare the little pups.
Are you trying to hurt the dogs with a bonfire, or you just?
Well, say I want to put it in between me and them so that they would have to go through the fire to get to me.
So.
And I want to use minor illusion to create ominous horror movie soundtrack music.
I want to figure out. Anyway.
Like a bum bum bum.
Okay, so just so you, this wall does not exist. This is one large room.
Actually, I know what I want to do.
So 1 second. What color? This color. Okay. Make an intimidation check.
And because I'm helping you might want to.
With advantage on these dogs.
Double 8s. But I do have a +5 to charisma, so that's going to be 13.
I mean, the dogs, they were barking just hey, someone's here, and as soon as you burst in sword aflame, bonfire, big bugbear, they start yelping. One of them is a little bit ballsier than the rest of them, and he's just standing there just barking at you, not advancing, not retreating. But the other two start cowering. But they're also cower barking from the corner, actually. From
Are we in combat
the
yet?
corner. Well, and as that happens, someone comes in from this door that you just noticed over here, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And now let's roll for initiative.
21.
Of course I'll get. So that would be a 20.
Okay. 1 second. Okay.
So he sees a bonfire. He hears ominous horror movie music. Sees a hobgoblin.
Yep.
And a teenager with a green owl.
Yep. Franz, you're up. What do you do?
I'm going to... what do I want to do? I think I am going to try and cast... No, don't want to... Cat's out of the bag. I'm going to try to cast Sleep on the guy that just came into the room.
Okay.
So that's what, 5d8?
I don't know. It's your spell.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Pretty sure it's 5d8.
I've got it. Roll 5d8. You're casting it at first level?
Can only cast at first level.
Alright, 5d8. And how many hit points does the creature? So, yep.
8, 10, 17.
You're always trying to put things asleep better.
Okay, that was 30.
Yeah, he does not fall asleep.
Well,
Do you move?
I am going to attempt to hide behind the hobgoblin.
Okay.
Because why not? It's going to be a 14.
I think that's actually a halfling trait, is to be able to hide behind creatures that are a size larger. I don't think that...
Yeah, and you're not able to... You could tell, like, he has his eyes on you. You just tried to cast a spell on him. You can tell his eyes are still locked on you, so you are not hidden.
I'm going to... 20...
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
No,
should've-
yeah. You're up.
Bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
A Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pop behind him. If I can.
Nice.
Well, do I... Let's see. 10, 20... I'm going to move, like... Start moving towards him, like... Look, I'm coming towards you, and then blink right behind him, and I'm going to grab him from behind with an action.
Okay. I'm just going to say just for...
Yeah.
I'm just moving him forward.
And then I'm going to try to grapple, I guess, this guy.
Okay.
And so...
roll a strength check.
I'll have new blue dice, please. 9.
Okay, you are not able to grapple him. And but you will learn something about him. He is a strong ass motherfucker.
Well, no, I'm between him and his route of escape. Are these doors right there, or is this just
it's all walls. Like this
it's all
is the
walls.
only
This is the only door.
and
So now I'm between
door.
him and the exit, though. And that was
Yes.
really the goal.
Yep.
And I'm just going to say, hello.
Fair enough. He had eyes on this magic fucker, but now he has eyes on the new magic fucker by him.
Are you still a hobgoblin?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll have to use an action to change form.
Yep. So he
It's
turns
not
around.
entirely coincidental that the moment we enter into the Inquisition stronghold that I change into something that I normally am not. It happened last time we met the Inquisition too. I fought them as a bugbear or a hobgoblin.
Ooh, you were so lucky. I think he's a little spooked by you. And he takes his great sword and he just turns around and is like, ah. And he like does like a swing trying to get you behind, but he misses. He just clangs against the wall. And next up are the dogs. And this one, is the bonfire still here?
I imagine him
I
like,
haven't taken damage, so there should be a bonfire 5 foot right around there.
and I'm like behind.
Okay,
The
I'm just
bonfire.
gonna like that right there.
I would have to make a concentration check when I take damage,
Yeah.
but Misty Step doesn't require concentration.
That's
so.
fine. The dogs, this one's going to just walk over here and like he's gonna come behind, like between you and like everyone else, and just bark. That's all he's doing.
Cool.
Next up, Franz, and the other two are still cowering and barking.
Do I get a sense that this dog is going to attack me, or is the dog just going to bark
You
at
could
me?
do a nature check.
It's crit.
Fail or
Crit. Success.
nice. Okay. You learn that dog is not going to attack you.
Okay.
And 2, you see embroidered into his collar the name Bear.
It's okay, Bear. It's okay. It's okay. And I'm like doing this while I like step around him
Yeah.
because I'm gonna go attack.
Yeah.
Big
These
beefy boy.
dogs are just noisemakers, pretty much.
Dogs are really good at that.
Yep. And then you move
Yeah, I'm gonna go attack.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yep. So I was gonna poop on him.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it does.
Cool. Booming blade, let's go. 12, 14, 16, 21 damage.
Okay, you knock him prone with that.
Damn, okay. And then I'm going to back up 5 feet.
He will get an attack of opportunity with disadvantage.
He's prone.
You could still.
Yes, he has disadvantage because he's prone, but he can still swing a sword while on his knees.
Okay.
Do you still want to do that?
No, I'm good.
Mags, you're up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to transform my long sword into a great sword, so it does a little extra damage, and I'm going to try to just slice him twice and hopefully take him out. So, so every strike has an advantage, right? So the first strike is a 14 plus 9, so that's going to be 23. The second strike is a 19 plus 9, so 28.
Both hit.
And then, alright, the first strike is going to do 2d6 plus 6. So the first strike does 12. The second strike does, an 11 plus 6, 17. So a total of 29 damage.
Murdered.
So I just drive it right into his throat and cut him, open. Then take a big hobgoblin breath.
I'm going to loot him.
And then I'm going to transform the blade back into a longsword and sew it. And then I'm going to attempt to calm down these little beasts who don't seem to be trying to harm us. And I'll put away the fire.
Are you a hobgoblin still? I'm sorry, I forget.
Yes.
Okay. Roll an animal handling check with disadvantage because you're a big, scary hobgoblin.
That would be a 6.
Okay. So these two stopped, barking just because you stopped making noise. This one, still barking. And he, slowly approaches you, his tail's tucked, ears coming back, and he's bark, bark, bark,
I want to take a peek down the hallway. Is there anyone else coming?
So you look in this room, and, so down here, and it's just a door, another room. And it looks kind of like, so there's one door that's metal as opposed to wooden, like the rest that you've encountered. So that's something that you see. You don't see anyone else in there. There is a door on the opposite side with the door, and it's closed. Both are closed.
I'm going to make a wild gamble here. Minor illusion.
Did you search the corpse of this guy?
I want to search the corpse for anything.
Yeah.
But before that, I want to minor illusion the sound of a training dog whistle to see if it has any calming effects for these dogs, because they seemed highly trained.
Okay.
The fire's gone, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Just
that.
so we're on the same page.
And do actually no, they would just they have to. Yeah. As soon as they hear the high pitch, it's head tilt.
Good doggos. And I'm saying this as I'm searching their master's body. Good doggos.
Nice. Roll your investigation check.
That's going to be a 24.
Okay. You find a purse with 10 gold pieces.
Cool.
There's a key on him, but you don't know where the key goes to.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of weird odds and ends, there's a bag of snacks, a little trail mix type thing, but nothing. Everything else is
Any treats for the dogs?
Trail mix, kind of, minus the.
No M&Ms.
Yeah, ye old M&Ms.
Okay,
It's just dry berries and nuts.
Cool. I go around and I give each of the dogs for listening a treat.
Okay.
Good doggos.
And while he's doing this, I'll look at the body. I'm specifically looking for keys, but also anything else that I could find.
I'm hey, I found a key.
I didn't. Sorry,
It's okay.
I didn't announce it.
I was looking at pictures of hobgoblins. To make sure I knew what I looked like. I'm sorry.
It's
All
okay.
right, then I won't even bother. I'll keep watch.
Okay. With the door open, are you gonna put it in a jar? How are you keeping watch? And where are you keeping watch?
I'm just where I am now. I assumed that I didn't know there's a door where I am.
Yeah, you said you looked down the hallway and there's a door.
Oh, I assumed that where we were, though, there wasn't a door. It was just a hallway that turned into the room we were in. There's a door here.
When you walked in from a hallway.
Yes, where the body is.
No. The body walked in from the door.
Okay, so there is a door. Well, then the door would be slightly ajar. And is there anywhere I could dispose of this body, perhaps? I don't think there is, but I'll look for it.
So when you're looking around, you notice that here it's easier for me to draw this than to so if this is the room that you're in, this is where you came in from. This is where he came in from. There was a painting over here, and you realize that there's like a hidden passage-ish. Like, it's not like a secret door. It's just like, oh, it's a cool way that we get in and out of things. Like, so it's more like a fancy, like, a cool hidden. But
I'll go look behind the painting then and see what I can find.
Okay. You open it up, and you just see a long hallway going straight, and it looks like it turns right. You also see a door to a room on the right-hand side.
Alright, so that's four doors total that we see then, because we see there's 2 doors behind where he came from.
Yeah, so if you looking down here, you see this, and then here's another door.
And then what's the other one? Just like draw it out for me, because like I'm starting to get a little confused. The way he came from.
He came from here.
Yes, I know that, but what did it look like? Because you already described it to me. So I know there was 2 doors, one of them wooden, one of them metal.
Yep. Metal. Wooden.
Wow, I literally can't tell the difference.
Metal.
Okay. Alright, so Franz, good job with the pups. There's 2 ways we can go. If we head down this way through the painting, it looks like the hallway continues. I'm thinking that this leads deeper in. The other way, there was 2 doors as well, one of them wooden, one of them metal. I'm thinking that might be like a god's quarters, like this is where we stand watch. We could go there, see particularly, do we find another god perhaps, who's like maybe they're watching in pairs and one of them went to go investigate and he just got blown up.
I think if that is the case, we should go look regardless. But if that is the case, we should go handle that, because if he
comes out and sees his dead buddy, he's not going to be like,
exactly,
oh, I should just go sit back down and read a book, you know.
So we should go. I'm not saying we need to kill him, but we need to go deal with that.
All right, so we'll deal with the place that looks like it's less material.
Cool. Yeah.
So let's sneak, and I want to open up the wooden door. And I'll have him open up the wooden door. He's the sneakiest of them.
It's a 21, and I'm going to get up to the door. Do I hear anything?
Make a perception check.
19.
We've been doing things out of order a lot today.
Yeah.
I open the door, and then I see what's on the other side. I hear what's on the other side of the door.
Let me just, oops, sorry. Alright, you're able to tell that there's something on the other side of the door. You don't know what, but you know that they're trying to be quiet. They're just not doing a great job, because you hear like a creak of a chair, or maybe like they like scuff their foot or something like that. But there's definitely something behind that door.
Do you hear
this? They definitely think that there's something behind the door as well, and they're trying to be quiet.
Natural 20.
Oh, what's up?
He asked me, do you hear this? So I rolled.
Oh yeah, you hear the same thing he does.
Okay, so I look at you and I'm like...
And I go, and I do like the green flame blade, and we're going to do the intimidation thing again. Oops.
So I'm going to... how does the door open?
In or out?
In.
Alright, so when we open it, I'm going to try to intimidate who's ever on the other side.
So I'm going to let you get in. I'm going to sneak. I'm going to be on the right hand side of the door. And I'm going to use my mage hand to open the door and push it in. So before that happens, do you want to be in front of the door, or do you want to be...
I'll be in front of the door, and I'm just going to say in a low booming voice, "Who is in this room?"
And then minor illusion, you hear fee, fi, fo,
Oh my
dum.
Okay, I want to know...
Wait, this is a huge fucking room?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. I'm just thinking, like, oh, this person's already scared. I'm just gonna really spook them. And then we can avoid bloodshed. But instead, there's probably like 100 people in here.
I know. It hurt me when you chose this way.
Because you have to do work, or because we're about to get fucked?
Both.
Oh, fuck us.
Let me just look back here again.
Well, good thing. Oh, fuck, okay.
Alright, where are you? Okay. So who went through the door first?
I didn't go
Nobody
through the
went
door.
through the door. We opened the door because
So
it opened in.
I am-
I'm standing in the door and he's hiding. To
I'm
the side.
hiding on the
Okay.
side. I use Mage Hand to open it up. He's Hobgoblin form, Green Flame Blade. I cast Minor Illusion to hear Fee Fi Fo Thumb while he is saying
Didn't
whatever.
I intimidate those within this room?
So
I
that's
don't
my
even
way
get a
of saying-
chance to intimidate them with my big flaming sword and everything.
Oh, I don't like the color of that die.
Yeah, you're not gonna like the color of this fucking die. Sorry, one second. I'm gonna describe what you see. Okay. These two are different colors, but they are still dressed in Inquisitioner robes. And we're gonna have to roll initiative, but I'm gonna tell you what you see before we do that. And actually, 1 second. Okay, yeah, you see them. They're pretty much they would have gotten a surprise round, but they rolled a nat 1. So lucky you. So you see 2 Inquisitioner guards, people in their rows, but they're sitting like this at the table.
Like similar to the guy we just fought.
Everyone's in Inquisition robes, including the guard you fought.
Okay. But there are like visual signifiers. Like I remember the captains looked a little bit different than the grunts.
Right. It's the symbols.
Mhm.
But these and you're looking for it specifically. Everyone's wearing the symbol that what was I gonna say? You saw the people chatting. You recognize this symbol from your time in captivity. And these 2 are sitting like this, the blue ones. There's one super beefy one sitting here with their sword drawn. There is one that looks kind of like this one. Both of these look more fast than strong, but they look equally deadly. And then you actually see the mayor right here, sitting across from you, and he looks surprised. Let's roll initiative. Okay, 1 second.
He doesn't recognize me though.
Right,
And I'm
but he looks surprised.
And I'm hidden.
You know, you just
Okay.
opened up the door and started making a loud noise, so he's just
So
startled.
just to be clear, because like I'm just confused. Like
Yep.
on my, nat 20 perception check, I perceive a single person trying to be quiet.
You perceived people trying to be quiet. You can't look through a door
Okay.
unless you used your ring of X-ray.
Okay, that's fine. I just
Yeah.
to me,
Hmm.
to me it was a person trying to be quiet in a small room. That's what it sounded
Right.
like, but that's fine. It doesn't
Right,
matter.
but the thing is, like, a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're,
No, we can't retcon it. It's okay.
Yeah.
That was a little confusing, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
But genuinely, like, how else can I say that? Like, they all knew you were coming. They're all staying still. Some were stiller than others.
To me, it sounded to me what I was imagining in my head, and this is okay. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just more useful to ideate for like the audience, like what the mind's eye. To me, it was like if I was on the other side of the door and I just heard like, oh shit, like that's what I thought I had heard.
Like
That
I was,
is- but-
yeah.
And the thing is, like, you could have definitely heard that, but that was, like, one person
Okay.
and
Yeah,
a bunch
that's
of
fine.
people, like, sitting. And, like, looking at these 2, these people are sitting still. They did not move. These 2 did move. So you heard
Mm-hmm.
one of these 2 people as they moved to prepare.
So they don't see me, right?
Not yet.
Okay, I should be completely obfuscated.
Okay, so what was your initiative?
12.
18.
Okay, 1 second. Franz, okay. Alright, so first up is this guy here. And what he's going to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. He's just dashing.
Okay.
And he's hauling ass with big old great axe in hand. Franz, you're up.
I'm gonna hold my turn.
Okay. Em, you're up.
Well, now it's a mom spaghetti moment.
Mm.
What you thinking?
So, I'm going to grab an item in my pouch,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to touch Franz with my other hand, and I'm going to cast invisibility with my invisibility candle
Mm-hmm.
onto Franz,
Mm-hmm.
and then I am going to Misty step 30 feet backwards, and I'm going to run the other 30 feet towards, I guess, the entrance.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. Alright, so you book it out of there pretty much. Like you're 30 feet back, the two of you.
Well, a Misty step doesn't
I'm
work
sorry.
on him. He's just
Yeah.
invisible.
I'm invisible, and they never saw me. They
Right.
don't know I
And
even
so I just
exist.
Misty step 30 feet back, run 30 feet towards the exit.
Okay, so yeah, so you're 60 feet away is essentially, and you are, I would say, 1 second, let me just pull up the map. Okay, so pretty much you run 30 feet toward the exit. You are at the door to the corridor where you came, like, to the corridor that you came in before. Like, you're in the room with the dogs, standing at the door to go to the corridor.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing I'll do is I'm going to send up a little prayer, basically asking for another spell slot. I'm just gonna be like, I really need some help right now. Like
Roll a religion check.
a religion check, something that doesn't involve charisma.
You're asking
17 plus 1, so 18.
for... Okay, we'll deal with that,
Maybe it's my next turn or something.
Mhm.
But
yeah. Next
does
up...
using the invisible candle require my concentration?
No, I'm just gonna say it's gonna last for however long the spell, because the
Okay,
candle's
so
the
it lasts for an
concentrate.
hour when you take an action that would cast a spell.
Yep.
Or you would same invisibility rules that he would know because Mags had cast invisibility on him before.
Yep. So, and you're invisible, you're not?
No, it
Yeah,
only.
I just wanted to-
it's,
yeah.
I assume that it casted at the lowest level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would cast it on both of us.
No, it was the one I just had to, like, because I confused, like, yeah, don't worry. So next up is this D4 who is going to make haste after you, but 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then it's this one's turn, but he's only at the, I'm just going to put him here at the door to the dogs. So,
Okay.
he does not see you yet. He is literally just at the door, and that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Like, he isn't in the room.
Clarifying question.
Yep.
Using the candles, does that count as casting a spell? I know it doesn't use a spell slot, but
In what context?
For breaking the invisibility.
breaking the invisibility.
Oh.
Because I'm just lighting a candle.
No, if you light a candle, then I would not count that as. But if you're actively like attacking someone,
Yep. But it's so like
That's
if I light the candle that has a spell effect,
what's the spell?
The
Well-
spell ends for the target if it attacks or casts a spell. So it's like, if you don't feel like using a candle casts a spell,
No, I don't think
then
it does.
then it
Yeah.
wouldn't. Like casting minor illusion breaks invisibility, but it presumably just activating a magical item that's in your pocket, which would count under anything that you're carrying is invisible as long
Yeah.
as the target.
Correct. My main thing is if you let's say you did a candle that like needed aiming and you're actively like aiming something a spell at them, that's one thing. But if it's an area of effect or just something like that,
or a
like,
cone.
if it have this,
What,
if it's
what ones do you have?
if
I have
it's
a fear candle.
yeah,
Oh.
if it's an AOE spell, then that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so it is Franz. Well, it's the D20.
Franz
turn.
held his turn, so he
Yeah,
can-
so I'm just waiting.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, we're going back to the top of the order. So
What about the two, the D4 and the D8?
Oh, sorry. I didn't put them in because they're doing nothing.
Oh, they're doing nothing. Okay, so just so I have the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
These two are aggressive. This one is just hanging out.
No, that
No,
one is
that-
the furthest
oh,
forward.
yeah.
He ran
Oh.
by you, but
Yeah,
he didn't
so,
see
like-
you
Oh.
because you're invisible.
Yeah. So he ran by, and this is like M over here, and he's chasing after
Maybe
M.
it would be good to use these as the extra. extra hallway, right?
That is a good idea.
And
So
you
this
could even
is
put it off of the thing,
Put
so
it
that way
over
that,
here, maybe. So then.
I can't reach that far.
Oh.
There. So
But you
that
said he
is-
doesn't see me right now, so he's like on the other side, or like.
No, it's actually this way because that's the door that they're
Yeah.
past
Oh,
that room.
okay.
Yeah, so we went
So
through the room, and then we're going this way. So it's kind of like if you imagine he is actually, in relative to you, is like right here, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm around the corner, and so he doesn't
Right.
see me around the corner. So it almost would be useful to like put me like here, almost.
Yeah.
You know. Am I by the dogs then, or am I
Yeah.
past the dogs?
You're past the dogs. You're in the room
Okay.
that the dogs are also inhabiting, but like
Mhm.
they're not chasing after you.
What are the rules of the body switching rune? Does it use an action, bonus action?
It's an action.
Gotcha.
And you just switch bodies, and you don't know for how long unless I told you for how long.
You didn't tell me for how long.
Okay.
I just want to know if it was bonus action or not.
It's an action.
Cool. So, we're not at the top of the order yet. For my action, and then I'm at the top of the order, so I can take essentially 2 actions.
No,
he
you're
goes between
the
you.
D20.
I don't
does.
think. I think if it gets back to your turn, you just lose the turn as well.
Right.
Because you can't like
Oh.
act out 2 6 seconds turns
Right,
and
okay,
one
okay,
6
okay,
seconds, right?
So right now it's like use it or lose it.
Okay. I am going to. I know what I want to do. I'm going to step in front of the D20,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to light a candle.
Okay. And what do they have to
Wisdom saving.
do? Okay.
Everything
For
within
both of them.
30 feet.
Okay. Wisdom. That's a 14. So what's it? Oh wait. Oh, wrong stats. Okay, still the same. Modifier at least. So fail. They both failed.
Okay. What are their worst fears?
It shows up, or do they
You
see
project a phantasmal image of the creature's worst fears. Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed in a wisdom saving throw. Drop whatever it is holding, and they become frightened for a minute.
it? Okay.
While frightened by the spell, creature must take the dash action and move away from you by the safest available route on each of its turns, unless there is nowhere to move. The creature ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have a line of sight of you. The creature can make a wisdom saving throw. On a successful save, the spell ends for that creature. I imagine they don't know that penultimate sentence about
Yeah.
breaking line of sight.
Until so they drop.
Yeah.
Drop their weapons.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Ooh. And it's going to do the same thing. They're dashing. But they're dashing. Here's the weird thing that you say. They're dashing literally to the wall. There's a hallway right over here.
Yeah.
But they're dashing for this specific spot.
Can I see why they might be going
You
towards
can
over there?
do an investigation check.
19.
Does the D4 go before I do? I don't think so.
Oh, I'm
right?
sorry.
No, that's
they were-
okay.
I was
You're just
reacting.
role playing. So
Yeah. I mean, if you're not doing anything, they're just going to
I'm going to. Well, the D8 is chasing me,
The D8 is.
and I know that he's chasing me.
You would hear him. I
Okay,
would
because
definitely
I'm
say so.
going to.
But let me
Yeah, go
just
ahead and-
finish
go
his
ahead and
thing.
do that,
with your,
Jess.
you see, there's a little panel that you press in, so there's got to be some sort of hidden hallway. There.
Okay.
So sorry, you were saying, Eric?
Nothing. It's his turn before mine anyway.
Oh well, it's D20,
Oh,
and
he
then now it's
feared.
you again.
So the way I'm imagining it
Yeah.
is,
So.
in this frame of mind, is door opened, hobgoblin, misty steps away. These guys approach a door and then
it's just magic everywhere.
immediately
Magic is
become
there.
terrified.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in front of the door now. They still can't see me. Do I notice anything weird about the mayor? Does it look like a disguise? Does it look like anything magical? What can I make of the mayor?
Do an investigation check on the mayor.
16.
They look exactly like the mayor. But you were you were around when who was getting coached? You were getting coached by Yasmin on on all the little idiosyncrasies about the mayor. And at one point, she said like, "Oh yeah, like he never gets scared. You can't shake him. But you remember when the door opened, like he was like, whoa. So you feel that something's up, but it is the mayor for like what you see.
Cool. I am going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I can get right up to... I can actually get side by side with them.
Okay.
Yeah, with your bonus action dash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still have
With the mayor?
No, I want to... I can be right up next to the mayor. I just want to be... I want to be up there by the door.
Okay, well this would be 60 here.
Yeah, but I have movement, bonus action dash.
Oh, yeah.
And then I
Because
could...
You still have a turn, because
Yeah.
this
Right.
is your second turn that you're taking.
Yeah.
In a row.
And then I have a full action. Cool. I'm going to...
If you attack, don't you
Yeah.
break fear?
I don't break... It doesn't break
You
fear.
break invisibility.
I break invisibility.
Okay.
Fear's a fucking good spell.
I know.
I'm going to...
So to them, does it appear that whatever they're fearing is chasing them because he's moving with them?
They just see their worst fear, so I imagine it's like in their head. They're
Yeah,
just
it's a
seeing
phantasmal
magic
image.
Yeah.
everywhere. Like,
Yeah, it's just that he, like, because it says they run away from you. They
Right.
dash away from you. So it's kind of confusing. Is the fear emanating from you? And therefore, like, as
Yeah.
he's moving, do
It's
they, like...
projected from the image.
Oh.
So, yeah, so the spell is worded weird. So you project a phantasmal image. So I think the U is just a centering point because it's cast
Okay.
from you, but imagine the locus would be the candle. They just
Okay.
can't see the candle.
Yeah.
Because this is weird. Yeah, I'm gonna... I can hold a reaction, right?
You could.
You can hold an action and use your reaction to
Yeah.
do it.
Cool, yeah, I'm gonna hold my action. When they open the door, I'm gonna walk in with them. What I imagine is going
Okay,
to
so
be a
you're
door.
so you're using your action to move again.
Yes,
Okay.
based on the D20's action.
Okay. M, you are
Potentially.
up. You are being pursued by that D8.
What if did I hear, like, them screaming or yelling or anything, like what did I hear anything
Yeah,
as
I
I was
think all
running
the
away?
doors are open, so you would have heard some sort of commotion, some sort of shouting. I don't think you would have heard them running away, but you definitely hear the D8 running towards you, so you know that, like, it sounds like there's some people stuck back there still, but there's definitely one.
I'm just gonna poke an eye behind me as I'm running, and I see only one person pursuing me, basically.
Yes.
At this point, I would expect the whole quadrant. So I'll assume from that information that Franz must have done something to stop the other ones, and I'll turn and I'll take 2 shots with my longbow.
Nice.
I'll bonus action shift the longsword into a longbow.
Okay.
And take 2 shots. So the first shot is a 17.
Hits.
The second is a 9.
Does not hit.
All right, and that does a D8 plus 6. So 12 damage.
Okay.
So an arrow shoots into him, and I will spend 30 feet of movement just to get further away.
Okay, so now you are in the corridor.
Okay, I'm in that long corridor where there's all the scratching and stuff and the scuffles and everything.
Yup. So you're just
Okay.
over here.
All right.
Okay. The D4. I had the D4 move early. That was its running.
Yeah, its turn is running now.
Yeah. This one is going to get even with the door so they can see you and fire off an arrow at you. That's a nat 20.
Okay, it hits.
1 second. 4, 2 plus 7 plus. So that's 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
Next up is the D20. Opens up this door and runs in.
I'm gonna go in with it. Does the door close or anything?
Like not immediately, but you could tell that like it's, you swing it open and then it'll slide back in. But this one is like this one's probably gonna be able to make its way in before it closes.
Okay.
Okay, so you are in with them.
Yep.
And this one, so there. 1 second. There is like some stuff. Like there's a little like treasure chest of stuff, and then a like a box, not a crate, like a metal black shitty box.
But it's
on the other side.
so it's just a room.
It's a corridor.
Okay.
But in the corridor is like fancy box, shitty box. He just goes past them,
Okay.
and he opens up another one, and it looks like, and this one is just like a little. It's a sliding wall, and then it's just a ladder up, and
Okay.
he starts climbing up. So he uses his full dash to get in, and then now he's just on the ladder, about to ascend.
Okay.
Next up is you.
Cool. I am going to. Where is my sheet? Okay. I think I want to. How far up the ladder is he?
He's just at the bottom, like he just 1-2 rungs, and now he's there.
Okay.
So he's just off the ground, but not ascended.
Cool. I'm gonna go hit him.
Okay.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Boom blade.
God, he has such low health for what he should be.
That's a 10, 17, 18, 23 damage.
Okay. You hit him so hard he is knocked prone.
Mm-hmm.
He falls back, and he's just gonna take 2 bludgeoning damage. So he's not looking good. Next up is M. You are engaged in combat with this. And it looks like they're...
He only shot 1.
Yep.
I can shoot 2 a turn. I guess we'll count that as me being better than him at his job.
Do you say that?
No. I just... there's nothing to hide behind to get cover?
Not really.
And is he behind cover?
No.
Okay.
He's like in the doorway.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take 2... we'll take shot number 1. 27.
That hits.
It's 13 damage.
Okay, 1 second.
Second shot.
Okay.
Ooh, 27 again. And another
Yep.
2 18s.
Nice.
Another 13 damage.
Kills him. The first one, tell me how.
So...
Is it cold or is it...
Oh, it's cold. He's already got an arrow in his chest. He comes around, he shoots an arrow, and just
Nice.
one goes right into his throat, and then the other one into his eye.
Rough.
And what do I do here? I'm gonna head back to can I get to where he is, but kind of keeping cover with along the door, and
Yeah.
kind of just having my head out, and if I see someone come around and try to shoot an arrow, I can duck back easily. It's just my head is poking out.
Yep.
So, and then I want to just, can I cursory? I know I can't do a full investigation check on his body because that's a turn. But
Yeah.
can I get a glance at any keys or anything? Because he's got all the keys. I don't have anything for
I
traversing.
have
Yeah.
this
one
place.
key.
All the keys is one.
Yeah.
So I'll just take a quick glance. Is there anything on his body that I would maybe want to pick up before I move forward?
You
or
don't
away?
see anything necessarily important on his body at a cursory glance.
Okay, thank you. Then that would be my turn.
D4. Here's the thing. You're over here.
Yeah.
So he's going that way now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20.
We should be keeping
30,
track of how many
40,
turns have gone by.
50.
Yeah, it's been. I've counted. This is the
Okay.
next round. It's going to be the third turn. It'll be
Yeah.
the start of the third.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So that D4, he's in the room before the dog room. So like one action away.
So I don't see him right now.
You don't see him.
Can you hear him? Can you hear him?
You can hear something approaching.
Because he should be like yelling like it's over there now, right? Like
like you hear it.
I just want to know what they're doing, but I'm not there to perceive it, and neither is he. So I guess it doesn't matter. But I do want to know.
He has to take booming blade damage.
He does. So standing up won't, but the moment he moves, and I can take an opportunity attack.
Yeah. So what's the booming blade damage?
Oops.
That's gonna be 5.
Okay. And then he starts climbing up because he's scared of you.
Yep. It's a crit.
You don't get sneak attack.
No, but I get to roll 3d8 because of the crit rapier.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you do. Roll the 2 first. Roll the 2 first.
Okay, roll the 2.
And then do the 3rd crit after.
That's gonna be 9. I had my modifier, so it's
Yes.
14.
Okay. You murder him, but what's that extra?
6.
Okay. You cleave extra good through him. And then like as you're like you like do this little twist to really dig in that extra damage. And as you do that, you feel this radiating, burning, searing pain, and you take 6 damage as well.
That's fine.
That is all. M, you are up.
I'm gonna go see what that screaming is about. I'll move 30 feet. Do I see anything? I'll move 30 feet towards the room.
Okay, and you see...
Because I'm like, this guy was a pushover. Maybe I could take these guys.
Yeah,
I took 3 arrows. So I'll move 30 feet. That would get me about that far.
Yeah, like you see him.
Okay.
He's coming towards you as you're coming towards him.
I say, oh shit. Yes. So poof, poof. I'm gonna drop 2 arrows into him. Just regular attacks. Like he's frightened. It doesn't infer any advantage for me for this.
No.
Okay, so first attack, 16 plus 9, 24.
Hits.
Or 25. Second attack, 11 plus 9, 20.
Hits.
Okay, and so the first attack does 1 plus 6, 7 damage. The second one does 8 plus 6. The whole gamut there, 14. So a total of...
21?
Yes.
Knock him prone.
Did we skip my turn?
So we'll say I shoot him right, like...
No, your turn was...
I come after the captain, right? I did. That was all opportunity attack.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot all about that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we'll say
we'll let
that.
that happen.
So we'll say you
Sorry.
walk into the room and right as I since I knock him prone, we'll say that the first arrow goes like right into his side, and then the second arrow goes right into like his like leg, and he like just falls down onto one leg or something like that.
Okay. Just so you know, because this happened while you were... there are... 1 second. Like, you can't tell... Like, don't let the color of the dice deceive you. But there are now 2 identical people standing like this, and one that looks the same as before.
So like completely
no
identical.
Yeah, completely 100% identical.
So
And
I see this, or does he see this?
This happened while
No. Do I see the current image?
You see the current image.
So I'm thinking there's a changeling in there or something like that. Okay, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm going
And then
to. I'm gonna open the treasure chest first.
That's gonna take your action.
That's fine. I have bonus action and movement.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care that my friend is dying.
Yeah.
I want to see
there's
what's
a
in the
shitload
chest.
of gold in there. Too much for you to count.
Okay, I'm like,
Right.
I'll come back for you.
Yeah.
And I'll walk back in.
Mm-hmm.
Sword drawn, bloody. My arm is like just. I'm imagining just steam and heat is just radiating.
Like imagine like Iron Man at the end of Endgame, like that type of.
Can I make a con save to see like how much I'm like withstanding the damage? Because I want it to be cool.
Okay, we'll see how cool you are.
That's not. It's 9. I'm probably like owie.
Yeah.
I'm actually like holding right rapier in my left hand now. So like, well, now I know what that does. And so I come in and I now see the mayor's gone, but I see the same person. Do I get a sense that posture and all that he just changed shape. It's just now he's a different person.
I mean, you just know that there are two that look identical.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? This would be better to do. Because I don't want you to think that, the dark one is...
Right.
Literally two
Yeah,
identical ones.
So I walk in, I point, so they see all the steam and heat. I have my bloodied rapier, and I'm like, drop your shit. We're figuring this out right now. Fuck you.
Do an investigation check.
16.
They are all shackled. So their hands are bound. All three of them.
I'm like, then instead of that, who the fuck are you? Cool.
And you get head shakes from all three of them. And then one of them looks over at the last remaining one. And do an insight check.
Insight. What's my insight? 12.
You don't really get what they're trying to convey. But you can tell, that person has some importance for some reason.
Cool. I'm gonna then use my dash to go towards the D4.
Okay.
I don't know how much movement it took to go from the captain.
I'm going to say this is 15 feet.
So I have
45.
45.
Yep, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And none of them do opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Because they're
So 30, and I have 15 more.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 15.
Okay.
That's my turn.
And I'm sorry, I didn't, clarify. You saw the mayor. He was dressed in the robes, in the Inquisition robes. I'm sorry for not describing that sooner.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in his normal garb.
Yeah,
And
that was my mistake.
And just for our frame of reference, we would know that Joe was still talking to the mayor when we left, right?
So all of them have
From what you
Inquisition
understand.
garb on right now? All
Yes.
of these people? Okay.
Yeah.
But they're shackled.
Yes.
But I don't know that because I can't really necessarily tell from where I am.
Yep. Em, you are up. Oh no, we did.
We did my turn,
Yeah,
so
so now
it's
it's this
D4.
one's turn. And where is he? There's the
Oh,
stats.
I did have something I wanted to do on my bonus action, but it got derailed.
That's fine. What are
I
you
just
gonna do?
wanted to go back to Sword and Shield after I took those 2 shots with my bonus action.
Okay. Are you using the curse? No, you left the curse.
Yeah,
shield.
I left the curse shield behind.
Yeah. All right. This one is going to make an attack. That is
Against whom with what?
You with a short bow. Unnatural 20
Okay, that is a miss. No.
for 8 damage, piercing.
Alright.
Next up is Franz.
I go up to him, and I'm gonna... Silva takes a big fat shit. You can see the bone sticking out of the pellet and everything.
Oh, nasty.
I know. I'm gonna hit this dude, hopefully. That's a crit.
I love it.
How does it work? Does it just mimic the last...
The last
the crit
one.
damage.
Including your sneak attack, by the way, so you're lucky you didn't have sneak attack on either of these.
Fuck me. Okay.
So do you have... He doesn't have sneak attack on this one, right?
No, I just rolled advantage, so yes, I do have sneak attack.
Right, because you had Sova.
Yeah, so.
No, he said it.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
you should have taken it on the last one, but I'm not gonna. That was my mistake.
Said what?
Because you had advantage. Oh no, you didn't have advantage the last time.
You'll
Ignore me.
only take
wasn't
it.
done.
So you roll 3d6. So you'll only take 3d6 plus 1d8.
So it's 3... No, it's 66.
But you only
No.
take the damage.
Yes.
That's the final third, the extra damage.
Okay.
So this guy's murked, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you just roll the damage that you do to yourself?
Yeah, is he dead?
Yeah, if you have 66 on you, he has
66 plus 3d8.
Yeah, he's dead. So just roll 1d8 and 3d6.
Fuck me.
You rolled the 8 and the 6 and the 5.
I'm not adding my modifier to this.
Yes, you are.
No, because
No, the modifier
No,
doesn't
no,
get added to the
no.
back end.
I thought you were just being...
14, 19, 11 damage.
What? Isn't it 21?
No,
Was that I thought this was 8, 10.
no, that would not be a 10.
I thought this was an 8.
No, well, yeah, no.
So 10?
Oh, 16.
Plus
23
11.
damage.
21.
21 damage.
to-
21 damage. Let's do it. Boom.
To myself. So those guys are just see as he like it's just like blows up. All right. But that guy's dead.
He's dead.
All right.
So now what's left is...
So the moment I see that, I want to get into that room and try to figure out what's up with these guys.
Just to remind you, there's the metal door that you have not investigated on this side. I just want to remind you that that's still there.
And does it look different or anything as I walk by?
It's a metal door, and there's like it's about like this big a little window with bars on it, and that's it. So.
Can't dodge on that damage.
Well, I didn't know it had bars. I must not have been paying much good attention. Knowing that it appears that the danger has passed.
What's it called? You were like every time you checked, it wasn't like a. I look in the room. What do I see? Like, so you see, there's one with a metal door and one with a wooden door. So I'm not going to give you everything.
So can I just take a peek into that gap? I'm specifically looking for Ash because it looks like it's a prison cell. And I'll be like, hello. And I'll say that in M's voice, not in the hobgoblin voice.
Okay. Roll an investigation check to get extra stuff.
16 plus 4, 20 unnatural.
Okay. You look in, Ash is there. And like you're like, all right, he's there, but like when you look, like he looks really fucked up. Unconscious. Like it's really hard to see if he's even like breathing or not. But you see like a very.
But I have vision
slow,
of him.
Yes.
I will cast Healing Light, and I'll give him 1d6. Because I assume, like, I'm just giving him the littlest, because I assume 0 to 1 is a big jump, but anything else doesn't really matter. He heals for 2.
Okay. He looks a lot better. He's still not conscious, but he definitely is breathing easier now.
Okay, and then I'm going to... That was my bonus action. I'm just going to get into the other room, and I'm just going to say, it looks like we've got some tomfoolery here.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna sit across from the.
Oh, and I like motion to you. I'll say also key door.
I throw you the key and I sit down in front of the 3 dimwits. And
Do you mind moving? Can you reach yourself?
Well, and now I have the key, so I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the door, and I'll piggyback Ash.
Okay.
And like walk him into the other room.
Okay. Sounds good. So
is this like combat turns, or is this just
it's done.
Okay,
you're
I was thinking of it more in combat terms. Like I was thinking, okay, the investigation was my action, the healing light was my bonus action.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we're gonna walk in. Now one of you is not who you say you are.
I'm gonna say, what the fuck? I'm pissed off, and I'm about to act reckless. So I don't know what y'all need to figure out to make this go easy for yourself, but figure it out.
The D8 speaks first, and you hear a woman's voice go, we want out.
Cool. Tell me the story. Why are you here? What's the deal? Where's the mayor?
Hold on. Now that may be an interesting story, but do you not notice the twins?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
One of them is clearly trying to hide. And then I'll turn to the D8 lady. Who is the imposter?
I'm like, I gotta figure this out. I pull out my dagger. I'm like, this one knows which if anyone's evil, it'll know. And I walk over to them.
What?
I get health back if I damage them, so.
She goes, the one at the end.
I go to the one.
Do I believe them?
You can roll an insight check.
Okay.
Nope.
23.
She's scared, but she doesn't seem to be lying.
I go to the one at the end. And
I'm gonna look. And I look at that one. I'm like, last chance.
I want to
reveal yourself.
I want to. I'm questioning whether or not it is, because now that I have knowledge of this, whether or not this is some sort of an illusion, so I can check to see if like the shackles are an illusion, or if this was a shapeshift or whatever. What is the check?
Investigation.
10.
Okay, I mean everything looks legit. They look like real.
I jiggle the. shackles.
Yeah. They are.
Ash is unconscious, right, as I'm carrying
Yeah.
him. Okay.
So they pointed out the one at the end. The one at the end when you jiggle the shackles, they're real, but you notice they're really loose. So they probably like put it on real hastily, and did
The one at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And I look at him like, I've had a really rough day. What's
What
the
is
deal, man?
What is the one at the end doing right now?
I mean, he's just
Is it
sitting
he?
there. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a he. Yeah, it is a he. Your character doesn't know that. But
All right.
they're
I'm just gonna say names now.
okay. The girl Inquisitioner, she's like Jin. And the one next to her goes Jan. And the one at the very end goes, I don't have one.
Okay, and you said you want out.
Jin goes, yes, we want out.
Why are you here? Who are you?
I am Jin.
Yes.
She's a little too scared to think beyond like this straight question.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, we joined me and Jan. We joined the Inquisition quite some time ago, and these magic users murdered our families. So we wanted revenge, but we realized that this isn't what we wanted. This isn't what our families wanted. And when we tried to leave, they wouldn't let us. So they were in the middle of dealing with us when you came.
Do I
Gotcha.
believe them?
Insight?
15.
And what did you...
9.
Okay. Yeah, they seem pretty legit. They may be hiding some details, but what they told you was true.
Who were the 2 men that I murdered?
You murdered the captain. Okay. He is Luther.
Luther.
No, Luther Lightsword. I don't know what you did to him. Frankly, I don't like magic. So, but please don't do magic.
I'm gonna start
Right
walking around the table with Ash in tow. We'll say Ash is like on my shoulders. I'm a big hobgoblin, right? And I'm gonna walk up to the shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say, shapeshifter, what does your true face look like?
He goes, I don't want to wear that face anymore.
Why were you looking like the mayor? What were they trying to have you do?
They wanted me to impersonate him because he's dead.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, indeed.
Okay, well, first
and
off,
do you
shapeshifter.
feel the same way about wanting to get out of the Inquisition? You seem, or are you more of a just wanting to get out of this situation?
I haven't seen daylight in years, so I was hoping that by playing along I could...
Well, friend, you're in luck. We're gonna get out of here.
Yes. First, though, you need a name and you need to change your face. This twin angle is not going to work.
No.
Well, your name's now Robert.
I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is there a face you would want me to wear?
I'm gonna lean down and just whisper into the changeling's ear, and I just need to frickin' find. I'm looking through my backstory. Oh wow! It's such a long backstory.
I know.
Actually, I want to.
And I'm just gonna whisper. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is definitely. I had to.
And I say it in my Nor voice.
His eyes go wide, and he for a moment, you see his true form. You're right there, so you see it. I want you to do a perception check because it really is like that.
18.
Okay. his true form just like comes for like that, gone. But you see like his face is just completely burned, deformed. Like there's no nose, and like the lips are like not there, and like his skin is just raw. And like no hair, ears are gone. Just imagine like he got hit with an acid bomb, pretty much. But then gone back to the face that he's wearing of the person next to him.
What was his name? This is me asking in character.
I didn't. I only whispered something to him. I was trying, like, you wouldn't have heard what I said.
I mean, I'm right next to him.
I mean, you wouldn't have heard what he said, though.
Okay. And, anyways, I'm going to lead down. Well, friend, how would you like to get revenge on the Inquisition?
And I'm just going to cut him off right there.
Because I have a face for
and
you.
I'm going to say, it's more important now. We should get out of here. We got what we've come for, and we've gotten extra. We'll figure the rest out of here. You two, and I turn to the Inquisitioners. Listen, I'm sorry. Can't trust you right now. You're going to come with us, okay? And
Where?
we're going to go to, we'll see where we go.
And you see me doing this.
Yeah, Joe will be super.
I will get you out of here. And perhaps we will just go our separate ways. Does that sound okay?
She nods her head like, yes, I am so sorry. I will never, ever say anything about either of you or him or anything. I just need to get out of here.
And I say, but wait, and I'm going to go get the gold.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I assumed that we're gonna head. Do I see the ladder? Is the door still open, or?
Yeah, the door. Oh no. Well, he would have opened it. So
Okay.
you see.
So that's the way I want to leave then.
Okay, and just to remind you, there's the nice box, the shitty box, and you found a bunch of gold in the nice box.
How much?
It's 999 GP divided between the three of you.
Okay.
The 333.
Yep.
I'm not going to remember that for Ash, so just remember to tell Leia that.
I'm actually texting her right now.
Is there anything in the shitty box?
Yeah, open it up.
I opened it up.
So inside, so you lift the lid, and like underneath the lid is like a little parchment, and it's just contraband. And there's 3 rings just sitting there. And Jin looks over and she goes, those are magical. We were going to dispose of them.
Do you know what they do?
No. We just know that they have qualities.
You've
that are
proven to be quite
unsavory.
amicable, Miss Jin, or Mrs. Jin.
I'm going to take the 3 rings and we'll look these back at base.
Miss.
All right, and I look around the room. Are there any what seem to be important documents or papers that might be useful?
So in this room, no. If you, she does disclose that there's one more room, there, but she goes, we don't really keep, a lot written down. It's mostly by word, so we all have really good memories.
And I'm gonna say, Franz, I don't know, not too late. Head up the ladder, see if it leads to a safe place for us to depart.
Before that, I want to check Luther's body.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
You would find another, 10 GP each.
Okay.
Each? Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean I get it, or is he taking all 30?
It depends.
I could pass it
I
out.
mean, you see.
I could have taken the 999 gold, but I didn't.
Well, that would have been harder to pocket
Yeah.
999 gold with me standing right there, right?
I would have just been like, As we step over Luther's body, fuck, I turn to the shapeshifter and I'm like, this could become you.
He looks down at it and he goes, I'd rather leave this life behind.
I say, good luck! And I go up and check. See if there's...
While he's checking it, I'm just going to say something along the lines of like, I know what us magic people can do can be terrifying, and I'm sorry for what happened to your families, and even what happened to you today. It's gruesome and violent. And I would understand why you would hate that, but what I would note is, and like kind of gesturing to Ash on my shoulder, it's more just people who are capable of doing these kinds of things, less in the power that they have, less so the way they gain that power. And that would be maybe a useful thing to be thinking about as you leave this place.
Jin goes, we've realized that, it hurt, and we've hurt more people probably at this point than we were hurt in the beginning. The thing about the Inquisition is once you're in for life. We thought we could get out, and thank you for helping us with that. If you meet more people in these robes in the future, I'm not saying they're all good, because a lot of them are not. But just know that some of them might want to leave, but are afraid to.
I'll keep that in mind, and I hope the way that you've been treated today helps you understand that that not all magic users are going to instantly jump the gun on these kinds of tense situations.
So you go up, you pop the hatch open, and you realize it empties out to a similar area where you came from. Like, it's like, oh, came out of the sewers over here, and 50 yards away, it's there. Yeah. You're still behind the fence. You're in the woodland part.
Okay. Do I see any, like, sentries?
Do an investigation check. Perception check, I'm sorry.
18.
You do. It's the one, you're literally, like, you came out at the middle part, and now you're at, like, the top part. So he's just doing his usual patrol. Jin and Yan discarded their robes and dropped it into the, down the hatch, and now they're just in plain clothes. And they turn to you and they go, well, most of the Inquisition don't know our faces. The people who will be showing up tonight will know something happened. But I think we're fairly safe from this point out if you're okay with us leaving.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Not our family. Our friends are here, but I don't think that we can give goodbyes at this point. I think it's best for us to leave the city and just see where the wind takes us.
I'm gonna look them dead in the eye and I was to say, the Inquisition's going to think you betrayed them.
They already,
get
wanting
out of
to
Taisho.
leave.
I would leave for Valencia.
I'd get out of the country.
And I have Valencia identification, and so I'm just going to quickly show them what a Valencia ID looks like, and find somebody who can make something like this for you on your way out, and I'll put it back in my.
And I look at them like, we set up a meeting spot tonight. I can get you Valencia identification.
How much gold do you want?
How much do you have?
She goes through her purse, and she goes, I have more at home, but all I have is 20.
Well, you should go get your gold at home. It's going to be a really expensive journey.
I don't think home is safe.
Where's your home?
She describes it, and it's like in the, it's not in the nice part, it's just in like the middle class area.
Mm-hmm.
They live in the same town, or the same neighborhood,
mm-hmm.
But different houses. And they offer you they'll give you the 20 GP in exchange for getting them fake papers, and they'll offer half of whatever gold you find at their house. Or
I don't want it. I want to get it for them.
Oh.
So that's why I said it's going to be a really expensive journey.
Okay.
What I want to do is, I know a place where you can be safe. Let's take Ash, and them to Ash's rumpus room.
Okay.
Lay low there. I'll go get your papers. Go get your gold. And then I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. I'm gonna say that the whole thing, like, it takes you, the other thing is, you've got, like, unconscious Ash. Try and say that, like, 10 times.
Unconscious
Unconscious
Ash.
ass, unconscious ass.
Can't do it at the same time as him.
I've got an unconscious ass over here.
I'm gonna minor illusion a burlap sack around Ash.
How about no?
Yeah. That looks even worse.
So I'm not a hobgoblin, obviously, anymore.
Yeah.
I'll be just a big burly man. So
Uh-huh.
like, actually, like similar in like faceness to the hobgoblin, but just like not the red skin. Just like, and I'm just going to.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be like walking the streets and be like, I drank too much there, buddy. Shouldn't have been day drinking.
Yeah, actually, while he takes
Yeah.
him to the rumpus room, I'll go talk to Zeno to arrange the Valencia papers.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, come the evening, and then, Uyong is going to just become a generic-looking person.
Yeah, I want to talk to
at
you
that
again when
point.
we get there and everything.
Yeah, so I'm going to say this conversation's going to happen while you are,
Yep.
1, going to Zeno, 2, gathering their stuff, or
Yep.
whatever you could gather
Yep.
from. Okay, so,
So lay Ash
he-
down like in his bed or whatever,
Mhm.
and then like get Ash down.
It's a
in, like,
futon.
his futon.
and Uyong is like, he's looking around the place, like, completely, like, amazed at
So,
just
but
how-
Earring didn't know that I was a changeling until I changelinged into the big brawny man. So how does he respond to that?
I mean, you said his name, and I feel like there's very few people that,
Okay.
like, he kind of knows who you are without, like, confirmation, because, like, who else would be able to pick him out as a changeling?
Mhm.
That's the thing, that is fighting the Inquisition.
Mhm.
So, he has an idea of who you are, but just not confirmation. And he's sitting down, like, in the room, and he's, like, just completely bewildered at
Mhm.
just how fancy everything is.
So, I'll sit down next to him, and I will like go into M, so I'll be
Mhm.
M again, and I will like flash my Nor face with the thing just so that we're on the same page, and I will say, and then in my M voice, I owe you an explanation and an apology, and you, my friend, don't owe me anything, and I'm sorry.
I thought you were dead. I thought they killed you.
That appeared to be Ika's goal when he took me away, but it would appear, and I mean this in literally the literal sense, that I have a guardian angel who interceded when things looked the most dire, and I was able to get out. But
You accepted her?
well, I suppose I was really in the depths of despair at that time, and yes. But I have regretted not going back for you that night ever since then, and I'm sorry.
I mean, genuinely, I would prefer not to think about those times anymore. And while I appreciate your apology, it will be kinder to me to pretend none of that ever happened.
I understand. I understand also if you just want to leave and go live your life somewhere.
I
else.
would. I just need some time to think how.
Alright. We can get you the papers that you'll need. And that's I don't. This wasn't really the way the world was totally like before the dark places and the pain, but yeah, you need to make sure you have the proper identification to get around, and we can make sure. Fortunately, the group that I happen to be running with right now, they get that sort of thing easily, but I don't expect to see you again very soon at least, but we can make sure that you get to where you need to go. When I got out, I went straight for Valencia, and I was there for a couple of years, and I'll give you the name of like a contact in I forgot what's the name of the capital of Valencia where I was. Mene, who might be able to get you set up with maybe some work or something.
He looks and he nods and he goes, "How long has it been since you left?"
For me, it's been
Let me look in the backstory.
yeah.
Because he hasn't had a concept of it because he's.
Mm-hmm. I think it's been about how many years since the comet struck?
3.
It's,
Now it's 3.5.
so it's been about 1.5 years. No, 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I spent a year in captivity and 2 years in the Valencia. So.
He heaves a heavy sigh at that. He's like, Jesus Christ. Okay. And that's that. Over to you.
Yes.
I'm gonna use the restroom.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything extra, or are you just planning? Actually, no. How do you break the news at the what's it called? What?
Breaking news at where? Oh, because he's going to the place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not there. So.
Yeah.
To the thieves.
So you go back to the Thieves Guild, and when you ask Zeno to forge some papers, he goes, if you're looking for Joe, she and the mayor are ready to take visitors.
Fuck. I got something I need to do first. But yes, I need to talk to
It must
Joe.
be real good because you've been hounding for a few days now, Franz.
Yeah, I need those papers. Actually, where's Kingsley?
He's on the floor, just moving inventory.
I go up to Kingsley. Kingsley, I need to go talk to Joe, so I need you to go to this address. I need you to go in and find these items.
He looks down and he's like, "Okay, what's the rate for it?"
There is no rate. You're doing it. You got admission to the guild. You owe me. Go.
Make a persuasion check.
That's going to be an 18.
Okay. You convince him, because he's learned a thing or two about, being a thief and, trying to, wring out as much money as he could, but, he's like, "You know what? Just this one. Just this one, Franz."
Shoot.
And, he hurries along. Joe is in her office. The mayor, has since, he's not in there, but he's still in the Thieves Guild somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds, just by what you've gathered on your way over, that he's going to set up camp here for just a short while until things settle down, and then they're going to move on to, phase 2 of their plan.
How you doing, Joe?
Jesus. I'm all right. And she quickly composes herself because, it's just been, 2.5 days of just...
Yeah, negotiations.
Yeah. But then she's like, "You know what? Shit, I need to get myself together." Yes. Things are fine. What do you have to report about the Inquisition? Have you been laying low like I've asked you to?
We just got Ash out. They captured Ash.
News and more news to me.
Killed a captain. So Luther Lightsword is no longer with us.
Okay. Don't know him, but good riddance, I guess.
We might want to send... Anyways, they have a lair underneath the fountain. They are actively trying to...
what fountain?
The KPP.
Okay, FPP.
FPP. But bigger concern is they're actively trying to get magic users to impersonate the mayor in his stead.
They don't work with magic users.
They are.
You're not there?
I'm not there,
You're
so
not there?
dumb. Just gonna say dumb. I'm just kidding. You're not a dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, Changeling is... They're affected by the impact that's working with magic users.
But the Inquisition doesn't hunt people. For the most part, people who are just like magically racial. They only hunt people who are using magic.
Like pew pew.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But
So-
it's okay. But the thing is, like, you were captured because you had something they wanted to, like, investigate.
And exploit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase. They're working with Changelings.
What's
to-
the changeling?
Remember my pal M?
Yeah.
She's a Changeling. She can change her form to pretty much anything.
Has M changed forms in front of Joe so far, or
I
Nope.
don't think so, no.
she goes, the fuck?
Yeah.
Why isn't she a part of the guild? Why haven't you gotten her involved with this? That is something that we can use
You can talk to M.
incredibly well.
You can talk to M. So, what's your game plan?
It is going to be a long time before we're going to see any movement in anything.
I have a
What?
couple ideas.
I don't want to hear them, but you're going to tell me anyway.
So I've been working with Zeno. He has been, we've gotten him various Inquisition robes
Mhm.
to model. We should start infiltrating Inquisition.
That sounds dangerous and not something that I'm all that interested in.
So they're having a meeting. And if we can get enough of our members just in there, we can sow chaos and take off.
Well, what kind of meeting? How do you know, like, one, don't they know each other? Two,
No, they don't. That's the thing.
how?
They wear masks. They don't write anything down. They keep no records.
Yes, they don't write anything down because there's not a paper trail for people outside, which makes it difficult for us to impersonate them and have the idiosyncrasies, have the code words, have the knowledge that they would expect someone.
All we need to do is take out the upper echelon. We need to get in. We need to get the mayor's wife.
We can deal with the mayor's wife. We have created a plan that won't involve you and your friends for quite some time. We will call upon you when the time comes. But I think you are best served, you best serve us outside of the city.
What do you need me to do?
I need you to start changing people's minds. I need you to do your chatty, annoying Franz thing
I can easily do that.
in places that are a little bit of less of a hotbed than here, because I have this city on lockdown.
Do you now?
I will. I mean, when have I not had this place on lockdown, under my finger, ready to do whatever?
Before the impact.
So the important thing is, I need you to understand your strengths and weaknesses. And I'm not saying you have no use here, Franz, but I think that given the brashness that is your entire being, I need you to be in places that are, little local places where you could change a few minds here and there. So you get others in on this conversation a little bit less willing to accept the Inquisition, because if we get the Inquisition out of here, they're going to go somewhere, and we need to make sure that they're not welcome anywhere else.
Okay. Where do you need me to go?
That's up to you.
Okay, Joe. Okay, Joe. How are you going to reach me when you need me?
We'll figure something out. Don't leave tonight, but that's something that I will figure out.
Okay. Can I ask for a personal favor since you're sending me off on a very vague...
I'm not giving you a piggyback ride.
I don't want a piggyback ride. I have a bounty listed on the board. And it would be such an honor if you took care of that personally.
And she goes, what, I'll have a look. I'll give you an answer later.
I need the head. I'm going to mount it above my cot. It would be such an honor.
I'll look into that. I'll go from there.
Wait, Joe.
Yeah?
Do you know anybody that can decurse items?
Decurse.
Uncurse.
Like bad magic?
Take the bad magic out of items.
No.
Okay. Well, if you hear anything, I need to know.
What about... What did that kid you sent say? Isn't there some... I don't know, like, secret club of magic people?
No.
Oh, no, wait, you didn't, No, that was in your letter, not with,
Yeah.
King. Sorry. So yeah, she goes, don't you have that thread to pull?
Yeah, but that's far away. Okay. Okay, Joe. Okay. I'm gonna go take a nap until Kingsley and Xena were done.
Sometime. You don't have to leave the city right now, but... Alright. Anything else before we wrap up today's session, or...?
I am taking the longest rest
I'm good.
Okay.
in the world.
Thoughts? Comments?
Well, I'm glad that we got to save Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would
I
suck.
feel like those. I don't know. Maybe it's just like because we're stronger. We're like level 6 when instead of like level 4 or whatever. But like I felt like the last time we fought the Inquisition, like we had like insane advantages and it still felt really bad.
Yeah.
And like this time, like we just went a lot better. So that's good.
A couple of things that went into that. There would have been like bosses if you waited until evening.
Mm-hmm.
So it went a lot easier because you just had the lackeys to fight and not the big bosses. So there's that. Because I had, like, you fought, I think it was 2 level 5s and 2 level 4 fighters. And 2 were fighters, one was a rogue, one was a ranger. And the rogue was always separated from his buddies. So he never
was
got
that the
to
first one that I got?
The second one.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So he never got to have like the things that make him a rogue, pretty much. So the fear was good, separating them, and even which is weird because separating the parties like the worst thing you can do. But in this instance, I felt like it was a really smart move because you got to pick off.
Well, and he was invisible the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So like
That was...
Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is, like, in my head, I wanted to use these to show, like, oh, it's, like, underground and dungeony, but I realized, like, the entrances just made it really difficult. Because even though I said, like, oh, yeah, there's an entrance here and an entrance there, like, you're working against what you see visually versus what I'm describing, and it just was not very coherent between the two. I also, like, I do genuinely feel bad about, like, you hear, like, someone scuffle, but, like...
Oh, yeah.
So I understand how it was misleading, but, like, I don't know, like, I'm sticking my ground a little bit because, like, when you listen in, like, and people are purposely being quiet, like, you're not going to hear there's multiple people in a room, like that. And I genuinely set this up thinking you were going to use, like, so that's why last night I asked whether or not you had the candle or not. So I was like, oh, yeah, like, they'll all be in this room. So I was trying to think of multiple ways for you to win the combat, even with the bosses, potentially. So when you said that you didn't have, like, that thing that made everything dark, I was like, all right, so I got to scale them back a little bit. And I thought that you would use the Ring of X-ray vision to either see, like, oh, there's a bunch of, dogs that are going to bark, or, oh, look, there's a room full of people.
No, yeah, I was thinking, I think my decision-making was sound. It just didn't work out this time, but it really, I was like, oh, this leads to a much longer corridor. This is the much shorter one. And so and then like we listen in on the wooden door and we hear like a little shuffling. I'm like, oh, I bet you there's like one little coward in here. Like that was my thing. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna intimidate this coward. And poof.
It's like the recruit.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of like because like I like banged down the door with this sword of flame and like I'm like ready to fight, and then like the guy rushed at me and like boop, boop, doop. I like Misty step, whoop, 30 feet away and just start running.
And they get to the door frame and they immediately are struck in.
So, like, I think what I did was smart based on what I thought it was. It just wasn't what we thought it was. And, you know, you can't tell the size of a room when you're on the other side of a door sometimes.
No. Yeah.
So.
The other thing that I thought was funny was, like, the whole setup was like, oh, we have to be stealthy, we can't have a lot of people here. And then, like, you go and making all this noise, create bonfire, and just scare the shit out of the dogs, and all they're doing is barking. And then you, like, run around, go in, and then make even more noise. So, I thought that was
for the first time I wasn't the loud one.
Yeah.
I'm
you were
usually
adding
not,
to it.
I'm usually not the hobgoblin You know, normally I'm sneaky little elf
Yeah.
You know, the forms you take overtake you.
Mm-hmm.
You become someone new.
And the cool thing is, one of the bosses, if, like, the way that I rationalized, like, giving you two bosses, that one of them was going to take, Uyong and hightail it out of there, like, first thing. Like, so you wouldn't have to fight one of them, and you wouldn't, and the thing is, like, you wouldn't know whether or not the mayor was actually there or not. Can you trust the mayor? So because you know, even though the combat didn't always start the way that you intended, you actually, like, got a lot of extra information by going in. And then it also helped that you didn't have to fight any doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Which...
We rolled pretty well on our stealth checks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good thing I didn't attack the Uyan, because I was gonna. I'm like...
Nice.
Because that would have been bad.
Yeah, anything you wanted to talk about, particularly about today's session? Compared to, I don't know, like, the past few... So, like, the past few, like... I kind of had to do on the fly a little bit just because, like, I wasn't sure who was or wasn't going to be here. So it felt like very, like, those filler, Naruto filler episodes, more or less.
I feel like there was, like, some good, like, subtle advancement today. Yeah, like, we were able to go in and, like, we learned more about, like, how the Inquisition operates. Yeah. I think that's like, because the Inquisition always felt like kind of like except for the like couple times we fought them, they always felt like at least to me, like a very far off kind of threat, even though they're there, just like kind of like a natural like, don't fuck up, otherwise the Inquisition's gonna come on you. Whereas with this, it's like, you know, for the first time actually, like us like striking at them, and that felt good.
Yeah. I actually kind of didn't consider that with you guys being here where the Inquisition has a stronghold, as opposed to in the beginning of the campaign, like, they weren't always there. And even, I think, up until... Oh, no, you did fight the Inquisition when you left the mountains.
Yeah.
But you avoided the camp itself.
Avoided the camp, and then, I mean, but every time we fought them, it was like they were coming after us. So they always feel like this looming threat that we kind of have to skate around. But that just comes with, like, you know, natural, like, level progression, you know, saying now, like, now they feel like something that we can actually tackle.
What was the so as far as combat goes today, what was the most rewarding thing for you as a player in the combats today, and what felt like the most like this did not make me feel good as a player?
Rewarding was I got to have like a superpower turn, making him invisible and then bolting out. I thought that was just, it's nice to, it's funny how you cast Misty Step twice. Like, it's really, Misty Step is like my least impactful spell in my entire arsenal. And yet, today was a day where that was the best thing, I think, in two different situations.
Yeah.
And so, there goes poof, my two I poofed around, but it feels good that, like, and that's one of the things that warlocks can sometimes do pretty well, that they can just have like a high impact turn, because they have limited spell slots, but they're such high level spells. Even though Misty Step is just like a second level whatever spell. And so like it was cool though to be like invisible, Misty Step, bolts get back, like that kind of like transformed that entire encounter with like my first action, and so that was really cool.
But also, I think it goes to show like how important non-damaging spells are, because I feel like a lot of players are like, I want the fireballs, I want the highest damage dealing possible. But battlefield control is extremely important, as today showed. Like you gave yourself distance that you could work with, and then with the fear, like I could approach combat any way that I chose because they couldn't do anything. We absolutely controlled the battlefield because of the Misty Steps, because of a Fear Candle.
I love the name Fear Candle. It reminds me of when you were fighting those slimes underground and Boggs used the Gust of Wind.
Oh yeah.
And that just completely changed.
If you can control a battlefield in D&D, you most of the time win.
Yeah.
It's when you don't have control.
It's because like you generally speaking are looking to play the game like this is how all competitive games kind of work, right? Both players are trying to get the other player or the enemy or whatever, the opponent, to play on their terms, right? And they have a big advantage when it's on their terms. So for us in our group, our terms are usually Franz making sure that he's getting sneak attack often.
Yep.
And making sure that, we're usually for us it's like a little bit more splitting up, because if like a bunch of enemies dogpile one of us, that's really bad because we don't really have a true tank, right? We don't have anybody who has a high AC and or high health. And so so to me it's kind of like if you can control the way that your opponent has to engage with you. Like if let's say you have a bunch of ranged users, right? Then it's like, well, we want, as long as we can keep them at bay, this becomes a really easy fight, even if they're like much more powerful than we are, or vice versa. Like they're a bunch of ranged people and we're a bunch of melee, so we have to find ways to get them to stay still. Otherwise, this is bad for us. And so I think that like they have to play your game, right? And so like both the opponents want, in this case, the NPCs want us to play their game, whatever it is, and we're trying to get them to play ours. And today, I think we just got them to really play our game, which was mass chaos and confusion. Like, we were able to split them up. Like, we never fought neither of us more than one at a time, right? And that's so crucial, because suddenly, even if it's 2v1, that's twice as many turns, and it takes you, it's like in StarCraft, to bring up the game we played check out the arena every Tuesday, 3 to 5. Like, in StarCraft, I mentioned this just like once, but if like you have like one stalker versus one stalker, it's like a protest unit. One will kill the other, and the one will have the sliver health. Whatever one shot first will win. But if you have 4 stalkers with the one stalker, none of the 4 are going to even lose their shields. They'll just win the fight so easily. And it's the same thing in D&D. Not like numbers is the most important game.
Yeah.
And so it's cool, like using your spells and stuff to manipulate the numbers game and trying to make it so you have an advantage where otherwise it was a 3v2 and we should have had no advantage.
Yeah.
And then to your second question, what felt bad? Just being a warlock.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling Deb this weekend in the car as we drove to Iowa and back, so we had lots of time to talk. I'm never going to make another warlock character, because I just hate having only 2 spell slots. It's just like, every time you use a spell slot, you just feel like bad. Like, you're supposed to feel good when you cast spells, right? Because like, I'm doing this cool thing. But every time you cast a spell, it's like, well, now I don't have any spells left. Like that. Like, I hope it was worth it,
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
You get back into short rest.
yeah, you get them back in short rest. The problem is like today we had 2 combat encounters. There was no short rest between them.
Yep.
So like, as opposed to if I was a
yeah.
cleric, I would have had like oodles of spells right at
I
level
know.
6 to like guess. And that doesn't mean I should be a cleric or that being a warlock is not fun or anything. But you can tell when you're not playing the game it was designed to, with 5 to 7 encounters a day, the warlock seems like a much worse class. Because it's like because it's like normally if you're thinking 5 to 7 encounters with 1 short rest or maybe 2 short rests, the warlock is going to be casting 4 or 6 level 3 spells, and that makes up for the fact that they give way less spells in general than the other classes. But I think most people play D&D where they're just having 1 or 2 combats a day, and thus being a warlock is just like, nah, you're just worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I play a 4-hour session on Saturdays, and we also have a bigger party, but like we spent almost an entire session in 1 combat encounter. And that often is how we play. I mean, because we spend a lot of time like role playing, there's a lot of things else happening in the world, and it's similar with us. I mean, we have 2.5 hours, but we'll like maybe have 1 or 2 fights, and then there will be a lot of RP stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of conflicting feelings about the Warlock. I love the flavor of the Warlock. I love the short rest mechanic, even though you have to kind of choose a Warlock based on like how your campaign is going to be played.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such an underpowered class. It feels like it was designed to be a dip class.
What?
A dip class.
Mm.
So like if you're going to multi-class, this is the class you would turn to. Because if like you're say a sorcerer or a paladin, like getting that short rest on top of.
Well, Eric will have things to say about short resting for all of our spell slots back, but.
Oh, but that doesn't matter. We don't need to get into that right now.
Well,
Okay.
but I'm just saying with like a paladin, like you have like your like 3 first level that you get back on a long, and then you have 1 that you can recharge with, which is smite is great.
Yeah.
Even and that's adaptable depending on your encounter. I don't know. Warlocks are such a weird class.
See, I love warlocks. I hate paladins.
I love paladins, but they do one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, rogues also really do one. So most of the melee classes just do one thing.
Like, if I was going to be a melee, I'd be like a barbarian or a fighter. Because I feel like as a fighter or a barbarian, you get more cool stuff than, I don't know. Like with a paladin, I guess if you consider them more like a buff character, then...
But I don't. I consider them crit fishers. There's someone that is looking to crit. And most, at least the way that I think about paladins, most of the time you're trying to game the system to get a crit. Because smite is a weird thing. It's not a spell, so it can't be counterspelled. You can declare it after you succeed in a roll, so you don't even have to waste a spell slot. Like, oh, I didn't hit, I'm not going to use smite. Or like, oh, I didn't crit, I'll save my smite. You choose when to do it. It does radiant damage, so like only a handful of enemies can half that damage. A lot of people like using undead, so they're already going up. I forget. Paladins are, I would say they're almost overpowered.
Oh, yeah.
I think paladins have a little more options than other classes, but I think like when you start describing only the good things that a class can do, I think every class is going to feel overpowered, right?
Except Warlock.
No, even with Warlock, you mean I can cast, like, especially like at later levels, they get like the Mystic Arcanum stuff, and they're able to cast spells a lot. Some spells, like the more powerful stuff, they get to cast more willy-nilly than other casters.
Yes.
The issue is they don't get they don't have versatility, right? Like, like a spell like Misty Step, if a wizard casts Misty Step at level 6, which is like what level I am, they use 1 of their 3 second level spell slots. They can cast Misty Step if they want 8 times a day. Or no, sorry, that's an 8th level. 6 times a day, right? If they wanted to upcast, right? And so you see, they just have a lot more opportunity to use their weaker spells. And as we were kind of discussing today, weaker spells can be a lot more, can be really
lower
impactful,
level spells,
and stuff like that. And so I don't think warlocks, I don't think they're bad or underpowered, and they have the best cantrip in the game in Eldritch Blast. Like Eldritch Blast is a really amazing cantrip.
Oh yeah.
But the problem is like, I think casting Eldritch Blast every turn, even if it's really strong, is a lot less engaging of gameplay than like looking through a wide-ranging spell list, picking out the right spell for the situation, or if you're like a fighter trying to figure out like how can I position myself so that I'm protecting my allies, when should I use my action surge, when should I use my healing thing, or if you're a paladin, like when am I going to use my divine smite, when am I going, or if you're you're a cleric, you're thinking about like what spells, especially like a lot of spellcasters are thinking about concentration and things like that. And so it's a lot less engaging to be like Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, like knowing what you're going to do 3 turns from now because you've run out of your spell slots already. That's why at least I like this character, it's just like I love being able to constantly be hot switching weapons in the middle of the battlefield.
That is cool.
And so to me, like that's the most fun part about this character is like it's like the opposite of what the Warlock is, right? Like I like being able to just change what I'm doing really on the fly. So my spells act more as just like the extra thing I get to do, and then the base of what I'm doing though is like shooting things with a magic longbow or whatever. So I think every class though could seem like overpowered if all we're doing is talking about it's really the good things. But I do think Paladin is maybe more along the Mary Sue line class. You know, if we were like to put them on a spectrum.
I would say their glaring weakness is they don't have cantrips, which
and ranged combat in general, right?
yeah.
Like if you have to get into someone's face, there's a lot of enemies like the enemies we were fighting in our campaign 2 weeks ago, where like they were like every time they get hit with a melee thing, they just do a straight 2d6 back at the person who hit them. So if you can only do melee damage, you're gonna get really hurt just by doing your 2 attacks a turn, you know, and so so like you know they're more linear in their game flow because it's like get close to enemies. Try to start attacking them. That's like their game flow is very linear, as opposed to my warlock's game flow. I can just choose, I want to run away and shoot you with my longbow, or I can choose I want to get in your face and you know blow you up, you know. And so even rogues, you know, especially with all the bonus action shenanigans you can do, your game flow can be really different each time. Like you can decide to hide, disengage, you know, dash.
That's what I do like about rogues is each action, bonus action, and reaction, all like I have a function for each of them that isn't just opportunity attack or some slated bonus action spell. Like my action, I have a very rich action economy, as they call it. And so like I can approach every situation the same. I can go in, booming blade, disengage, move back 5 feet, wait for them to move or whatever. Because that's successful, but like with today, like I could dash, like I can move and dash and have a full action.
Yeah,
I think that like if I were to critique like D&D in term or like D&D 5e is like I would say that every class should have bonus action options that are not necessarily equivalent in terms of strength, but equivalent in terms of their meaningfulness, as the rogue does for the dash like thing. Like imagine if, for instance, like for fighters, like or let's say with a sword and board paladin or fighter, you just give them like you have a bonus action to put up your shield and have like +1 AC for the turn, like you know you're getting into like a defensive posture,
or like a shield bash.
Or you could shield bash, and like that does that counts as like because rogues can sometimes do 2 attacks in a turn, right? Because you can attack with your offhand.
Yep.
So like I think there isn't enough meaningful bonus actions in the game just in general. There are like no cantrip bonus actions, which makes sense because obviously that would be really good.
I mean, there's a lot of I mean, Artificer has a lot of bonus action options.
Yeah, but that's because they're realizing their mistakes because that's the one designed after the OG 11 classes.
Give us 5/5.
But so I think that so like what I'm saying is like I think that bonus actions like because we were just like this is kind of in the flow of what we've been discussing for the past like 15 minutes is that the extra things that you get to do are often what make the game more fun and engaging. Yeah. It's not just like, I smashed something, right? It's like that's fun, smashing things. But then it's like you are always going to smash something this turn. It's then when you decide if you want to disengage or hide or dash or it's when you decide I'm going to Misty Step or I'm going to turn that thing invisible or that guy invisible or whatever. Those are the things that you really remember and that help like define what your character's doing. And so I think giving meaningful options for bonus actions and stuff makes the player feel like they're more in control of their environment and what's going on.
Yeah.
Solid.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
How did discovering the crit dagger feel?
Crit rapier?
Oh, sorry. I was talking to
Does
Eric.
it not leave his hand?
No.
I know, I'm just joking. A cursed item,
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, it's still a net benefit doing at my current level 3d8 plus 66 damage on a crit. Is dumb.
Isn't it more than 66?
No, it'd be 96.
Yeah.
A 96.
So.
Fuck.
I mean, okay, so I'm gonna calculate. I'm
That
gonna
is
pull up the
so
calculator
many.
here. So
I mean, because
96.
so I'm just gonna do like an average, like what, like when you do like a stat block for like a monster.
Yep. So
Yeah.
96
is 9
and
times 3.
68.
9 times 3. So the 96 is 27, and then a 68
Yep, 68.
would be 4 times 6. So 24 plus 27.
Jesus.
So that's 52. So that's an average. That's like that's just like the baseline. So
Yeah.
you can go below. You could go higher, but you should like expect around 50 damage
Yep.
whenever you crit, assuming you're getting sneak attack.
Yeah.
I mean that just deletes
That's
most.
assuming.
That deletes
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Yeah. So I got that from.
cannon.
Yep.
But you're also taking
Where'd you
a
get it
bunch of damage.
Yeah. Oh, I.
But the thing is that once you kill something, it's dead. Like you know what I mean? Like you're done, right? Like it doesn't matter if you're at 1 health. If you win the encounter or whatever.
Mm.
I guess it does, but
A little bit, because if you have another one right after, or more people coming, so.
yeah.
I got that one from an old DM that taught me, and who I texted when you started DMing, because I was like, "You're influencing people here." But yeah, he gave my paladin one of those, and he didn't tell me that it was cursed, and I didn't check that it was cursed. He goes, "Oh, you find a magical sword, and it seems like it does extra damage." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, like, awesome, thank you." And then like I crit like a few sessions later, and he's like, "Guess what?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You take it too." I'm like, oh, "No." So I was like, I need to throw that in. So that was fun.
Oh yeah.
And it was very rewarding for me to have it happen literally the next session.
It happened twice. I
know.
had it. I wiped
Especially
out.
because you didn't need it.
No, like I took out. I wonder if my uncanny dodge would work. Anyways, but that took out half my health.
Yeah.
In a session. I'm like, fuck.
And none of it was from enemies.
No, they got CC'd the. God, fear is such a good spell.
Yeah.
Fear is such
Yeah,
a
I mean,
good
to
spell.
be fair, I think, and like, you could even rule differently on it in the future, Kelly, but I think the ruling today helped a lot with, okay, yeah, fear works, and you are, and you're still invisible. That was...
I think it makes sense.
No,
though.
I'm not saying it was bad ruling or anything. I'm
Mhm.
saying, like, that ruling made today's thing feel even more OP. Like, fear is already really good.
Yeah.
But then I'm just invisibly moving with you the whole way.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
could have attacked him, right?
No.
No.
It actually.
No, well, they can with disadvantage.
Yeah.
They just can't move. They can't move towards him.
Yeah. So like when he was like right next to both of them.
But they dropped everything, so they didn't
yeah.
even have weapons.
Yeah.
When he was right next to both of them, I would have probably had them attack. Oh, I guess they dropped their weapons too.
Yeah,
on fear.
like they would like.
They drop
punch
whatever
him.
they're
Yeah.
holding.
Okay. Disadvantage on ability checks and attacks.
Actually,
roll
they
low source of
can't
fear.
attack. I mean, they can but they have to take the dash action. So maybe the rogue, you could say dash bonus
Yeah.
action, but like the fighter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they couldn't.
But so like that was So like again, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for?
Critiquing.
No, I'm not critiquing either. But like, I'm not trying to compete with what happened today or saying it's wrong or anything. But you could have ruled that the source of fear was there, right? And when he got to the ladder, he was outside of line of sight, right? And it didn't move with Franz, right? Or you could have ruled that the invisibility was broken. And those things might have made the fight a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think those things aided the player. It doesn't mean they were wrong or bad, but being visible fear, just running around, that's a pretty useful. That helps make the fight a little bit easier. But fear is also very, very good as a spell.
Yes.
It's a 3rd level spell, right?
Third
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, like I've had like
Third
the
level
DM that
spells
taught
should be
me
amazing.
had a DM, like I love him
Mhm.
to pieces, but there were some times where he nerfed spells as written, like rules as written.
That's dumb.
And it just like was shitty. Like I was waiting to be a level 5 paladin so I could have the animal, the
Find seed?
Thank you.
Yep.
And it's meant to have an intelligence of like 8 or something, where they're able to understand and understand like human conversation.
Well, 10 is human, right?
Yeah.
And so 8 is like,
Slightly dumb human.
slightly dumb
Yeah,
human.
like it can't communicate back to me, but I'm able to say like, oh, go downstairs and check and see if anyone's there. And I go, okay, I'm gonna check downstairs and see if anyone's there. And he's like, no, it's a bear. It won't understand that. I was like, no, like it literally says it gives a stat block. And he's like, no. And so like every time I would use Find Steed, it would get nerfed. So like I feel like nerfing spells just because they happen to have a good OP combo.
Yeah.
I think it's just like unfair.
Oh yeah. Well, no. To me, this would be not an example of nerfing the spell. It'd be it's because it's more of a ruling here. does
Yeah.
using this item that says the item casts a spell count as the player or the character casting
Right.
a spell which would break invisibility.
Right.
That to me is that's a 50-50 as to like which way you go. I
Yeah.
do agree that would never want to nerf. I would not want to ever nerf a spell, and if I did, I would want to give the player you can pick another spell if you don't want that spell anymore. Do you know what I mean? Or what were your expectations, and why were you excited about this, and how can we work together? Just all this, because sometimes players will be doing something that's OP in the sense, not just so like, oh, it's really good, but like it makes the game less fun for everyone else. And sometimes that can be like critting and doing like 50 damage every time, like every turn or something. Because then it's like if one player's doing 50 and everyone else is doing 20 damage a turn, then you can't just throw like rebalance the encounter, right? Yeah, you can rebalance it, but the player who's doing 50 is just going to seem like, oh, they're just doing all the work and I'm just here doing nothing, right? And so sometimes as a DM you have to like think about those things, but in that instance it seems like the DM would just have more of an expectation of like, I think this is what Fine Steed is in my head, and I'm not going to like listen to Raw, or anything. And that's not how I prefer to DM more in the sense of like, I want to work with my players so that we're all having a good time. And I think that's generally how you've done it too.
Yeah.
Especially in the past when I've like created my own subclasses for monks and stuff, and you've been not totally on board.
Well, because the thing is, like, there's always the meme of, like, oh, your players would never care about your game as much as you do. And I was like, I don't think that's true. Like, I think everyone's invested in the narrative, in their characters, and what happens. So, like, I want to workshop things so that the rules as written, like, aren't, like, it says no, it has to be this, when it doesn't make sense for your character. For it to be like that. And it's really just reskinning more than making someone more powerful. But yeah, we're at 5:01. Any closing thoughts?
No, today was fun.
Sounds good. Hopefully we'll have a full roster next week. Thank you for joining us.
Rock
See you
on,
Monday.
Twitch chat.